It is our mission to embrace the ideal that our show shall always strive to belittle the stupid and to play an occasional song. We shall also strive to take all of your requests, but to never, under any circumstances, play those requests. It is our mission to offend as many people as we can in the shortest time possible. We shall always remember that no matter how pointless and stupid the things we say are, we shall present them in such a way that they will be lessons that will last a lifetime. We shall strive always to do nothing and to be mean. We shall strive mightily to always be the #1 morning show in Salt Lake, or, if not that, the #2 morning show, or at least somewhere in the top 15 or 20 morning shows. At least once a year, we shall go to someone's home, and we shall eat really good food, and we'll make you wish that you could be there to share it with us. And finally, it is our mission to always remind the listeners that we never lie, and we're always right. So let it be written, so let it be done.
Some dope addicts are here.
Yeah, no, I mean, that could just go on and on and on, couldn't it?
It does.
It
does.
So it's Gary Newman, and it's, yes?
On this day.
Yeah.
Gary Newman was born.
Oh.
He is 60.
Oh, I would have thought he was older than that.
I would have thought he was much older than that, too.
He must have been just a wee lad when that came out.
I would have thought he was dead.
Yeah.
But, I think everybody's dead. So
Did he do anything other than Cars? Because that's the only thing I know him for.
He was in a band before Cars.
Two Boy Army.
What was it called?
The Two Boy Army.
Yeah.
It sounds
gay.
Gay?
I'm
I wasn't going to say it.
Well,
but
it does. I mean, there was a lot of gay sort of music and bands back then. Bronski Beat and all of that. I didn't mean that in a pejorative sense.
He's not gay. He's been married to Gemma O'Neill since 1997.
Well, that proves it right there. And this is?
This is reasonably new.
Really?
Love, Hurt, Bleed.
Had no idea.
Still putting it out there.
This was the attempt at a comeback or continuation. I don't know.
It's not bad.
No, but it's a little too... I think people would say, "Oh yeah, we've heard that."
Well, he was one of the first to make you hear that,
Yeah.
so he can lay claim to that.
He was no Peter Murphy.
We all know how much you love Peter Murphy.
Some. We should play some Peter Murphy sometime, just for the hell of it. I love that guy. He was great.
Wow.
And what was his band? He was in a band before.
He was in Bauhaus.
Yeah,
Bauhaus. Right. Yeah. So hi, this isn't a. I don't know if I should save this or talk about it now. My kids are narrow-minded, stiff-necked little bigots.
About what?
Bigots?
It just drives me crazy.
What?
They're inflexible, so they love the old, and my fault, the old Lost in Space.
Oh, I see.
With the robot and
Yeah.
the comic robot and the wonderful Dr. Smith portrayal. Oh, Will. They have all the DVDs.
Mm-hmm. You
whole
raised
collection.
them that way.
And I loved that show too. And so some years ago, when I was when they were going to do a movie with Matt LeBlanc, I thought, oh, this will be. I'm excited for that. That might be good. It was terrible.
It was not good.
Yeah, it was. I think it was Heather Graham in that.
Heather Graham, I think.
Yeah. It wasn't good. It was, and too bad.
William Hurt.
Yeah, it was Dr. Smith.
Yeah.
Too bad. But it wasn't good. So fine. Well, so now Netflix is doing Lost in Space, and I've seen the trailer, and the trailer looks great. Now the trailer it lets you know this is not the Lost in Space from TV.
Inspired by Lost in Space.
It's your similar setup.
Yeah.
The Robinson family
Right.
leaving Earth
It's Will Robinson
to colonize.
Yeah.
So you got that.
Yeah. But there are differences, and it doesn't look like it's campy or funny.
No.
And Dr. Smith is a woman. And when I showed them the trailer, my stiff-necked, rigid children went, no! No! As a matter of fact, little Bill stood up and went, anger! Anger!
Really?
I said, fine.
Feel that
Fine.
strongly
You are
about it.
not allowed to watch it. It's going to come on Netflix, and even if you feign some, no, you cannot watch it.
Is it a movie or a series?
It's a series. I think they're going to do 13 episodes and see how it goes.
Sounds like you're going to enjoy it by yourself.
Well, it may not be good. You know, the
Will
trailer.
you tell them if they're right, or will you not let them have the satisfaction?
No, I'll tell them. I'll say, I've been watching it, and it's just not working. It's not working. I hoped it would, but it's not. So there you go. But at least I looked at it. I reserved judgment.
Gave it a minute.
God, they're just like, even my sweet little daughter, she's, no, this is wrong. Dr. Smith can't be a woman.
Why not?
Because Dr. Smith is a man.
It's the same way I feel about Starbuck, Gary.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, yeah, and you were wrong about that one because Starbuck as a woman was awesome.
Yeah. All right, I guess I was just going to show you these. Well, we should get started.
Just never forget the Geek Show philosophy.
Show me what you got.
Exactly right. There are things that I think I don't want to see that remade. I really kind of don't. I think it's perfect the way it is. But if somebody says, well, I'm going to do it, I'll say,
Show me what you got.
okay.
Gary Newman and Peter Murphy put out an album together.
Ooh.
So there's something for you called Dolly's Car.
Dolly's Car.
And apparently Gary Newman was in town a couple of months ago. Pete Ashdown brought him in.
He looks kind of like Pete Ashdown.
A little bit.
Very thin, angular
Yeah.
sort of. Yeah. That's interesting. I'll
go.
look that up. All right. So anyway, we got to get this show started for real. We'll take your check-ins, 877-602-9696. Call, check in. Somebody can get something, right?
Disney on Ice tickets.
Hey, let us award that. Okay? We'll pick a caller as they come in, rather than have the producers
All right.
do it, okay? 877-602-9696. Call, check in, and tell us what you're doing, and we'll say hi to you and maybe give you tickets.
Yes.
All right.
All that and more on the way. UtahAdvocates.com is the website. 24 hours a day. You can go there.
Right.
Speak to an attorney.
Now, when you say speak, you can actually speak, or you can just
speak
chat.
with your voice, or you can do the instant message thing on their website. Either way, it's an attorney you're talking to, not a secretary or something like that.
Try it out.
And
2
it's
o'clock in the morning.
And it's free.
Yeah.
And you can find out whether you have a case or not from an actual attorney.
Yeah, the advocates won't charge you any money if you've been hurt in an accident, and it's any kind of accident, not just car. That is the most common. It could be class action. It could be maybe you've gotten sick of as a bad drug reaction, the prescription drug reaction.
A slip and fall.
Yep, stuff like that. So the advocates, they if they take your case, they help you out. They get you medical equipment if you need it. They can get your car, all of that stuff. They don't charge you anything until they get you a settlement. So call the advocates, 801-355-5550.
This is very important.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
Nobody around here has been eating lead paint.
One of the things I love about Valley Office Systems is they're a joy to work with. Honestly, we are a 24-hour business. We rarely have an issue, but when we do, we let them know, and they're out here just as quickly as possible. Honestly, their service is second to none.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! Today, we join our elders as they are about to encounter the Borg for the second time.
Man, these Borg ships sure are sparsely decorated and poorly lit.
Well, I sure hope we get to spend more time with the Borg this time. I mean, last time we didn't even get to the first discussion.
I am 5 of 7. I am here to show you the way.
Hey, that's why we're here too.
Hello, Mr. 5 of 7. We met your cousin 3 of 7 last time. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know.
The Mormons.
Huh.
Yes, your exploits are known throughout the collective.
Hey, Lehigh, we're famous, huh?
All Borg are one. Whatever one experiences becomes available to all.
Well, that would speed up fast and testimony meetings. Say, where are you taking us?
To her chambers. She is expecting you.
I don't like the sound of that.
Welcome, elders. I have been anticipating your arrival.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Lehigh, and he's Butch.
Hi.
I have wonderful plans for you boys. Together we will rule over the perfect Borg galaxy.
Well, I hope this can wait until after our mission is over.
Ma'am, who exactly are you, and why do you have plans for us?
I am the Borg.
Well, I thought they were the Borg.
They are, and I am. And once we assimilate you two, you will be Borg as well.
Oh, I get it. He's a Borg, she's a Borg. Everywhere a Borg, old MacDonald had a Borg.
Knock it off, Butch.
Oh.
We better come up with a plan quick or we're going to be assimilated.
Okay, Ms. Borg, tell you what. I'll give you my new fender flares and the luggage rack off of Lehigh's bike, and we'll just be on our way.
You will look cute in black rubber suits, and I have picked out some special prosthetic parts for each of you. Soon you will be my lieutenants, my consorts, my special friends. Together we will assimilate the Federation, then the Romulans, then the Cardassians, and then whoever else we can find. And we will have fun doing it. Hook them to the assimilator.
Hey, come on, let us go!
Nothing like the assimilation of new young men to make one forget about how Locutus left me without saying goodbye.
Something is wrong. The assimilation process has failed. They have already been assimilated by a stronger force than the Borg.
Quick, shut down the machinery. The feedback could contaminate the collective. What have you done to my beloved collective?
Well, once you hooked us up to that gizmo over there, all of our experiences were spread throughout the entire Borg race.
Lehigh and I were able to bear our testimonies to more than 7 billion beings at one time.
It was kind of like General Conference, except without the crying babies and the old people going to sleep.
Yeah.
We not only got to give the first discussion to the Borg, but to pretty much teach the whole gospel to all of them at once. Could it be? Have the Borg finally met their match? Could Butch and Lehigh be immune to the assimilation process? Tune in next time to hear the Borg say...
I am Elder 5 of 7, and this is my companion 4 of 9. We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You know, the Mormons.
No! You've turned the most feared race in the galaxy into a bunch of jello-loving, suburban-driving moral goody-goodies.
Well, you think that people were afraid of you before. Wait until you start approaching planets now. Man, I'd hate to play word ball against these guys.
I think our work here is done. Hey, can we count all 7 billion as converts?
Well, technically we didn't baptize them. We'll have to check with Zone Leader Hansen just to be sure.
What about me? I was queen. I was the most powerful being in the galaxy, ruler of an entire race of warriors. What am I supposed to do now?
Well, I guess you are now the most powerful Relief Society president in the galaxy. Congratulations. Gotta go.
Bye-bye, sister.
On the next artificial limb attaching episode of Space Elders!
3986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 6:19.
All right, we're going to get the show started officially. So Robert Mueller can investigate anything, can't he? Just like Ken Starr did. He can investigate anything.
He had a starting point, but they said from that point, anything that you find along the way, you can investigate.
What I'm suggesting is he could investigate this whole Stormy Daniels
completely,
thing.
yeah.
And damn it, get on it, Bob. Let's officially begin the show, shall we?
Brought to you by Spring is on the way. Prepare with IFA Country Stores, helping you grow the things you love.
The moon is there. Oh, there it is. It's, again, lovely in the sky today. This morning, it's a waning moon, 58.9% of full. We'll have a full moon on March 31st. The moon will set today at 10:55 a.m. Today being Thursday, it's the 8th day of March in the year of our Lord 2018. And this is North America's most holistic radio broadcast. It's the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, the Sons of the Soil, the Kentucky Colonels, Kerry Jackson, and see, we're all three. All three of us are all three of those things. I don't want people to be confused, thinking, well, not only is it Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi, there are also going to be some Sons of the Soil.
No, that's us.
Yeah, that's us. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show, Richard. I'm waiting for Kerry to die. Stedman. Dylan Allred, no relation, is producing video for the show, but I don't...
It's special video. It's not just any video. It's x96.com/live, but it is the amazing Lash Studio Lash Cam video that he is producing.
We're not seeing that in here today,
No, it's
though.
not.
Okay.
They just need to fix that.
Oh, I see. But we are we're doing video right now that people can see at x96.com/live. And I think our intern helping out today is Katie for short. And thank you for being here, Katie. We appreciate you and enjoy you. And now,
check-ins, and we have a giveaway associated with that. Follow your heart straight to adventure at Disney on Ice, playing Vivint Smart Home Arena for the first time, March 8th through the 11th. Just keep swimming with Dory and Hank. Cheer with the emotions from Inside Out. Venture with Anna, Kristoff, and Olaf. Make unforgettable memories with Mickey and your favorite Disney characters. Opening night tickets start at just $10.
So we'll award those tickets to a random caller for check-ins right now.
All right. So we'll start with Ben. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for letting me listen.
Ben, it's our pleasure. Ben, did you realize that today is the anniversary of the death of Ferdinand von Zeppelin?
I had no idea.
He died at the age of 78 in 1917. The creator of the Zeppelin, the lighter than air balloon. So there you go. What have you got for us today, Ben?
Just checking in. Headed to Moab to go do some state friction testing.
Friction testing.
There's a lot of friction in this state.
Well,
I can
there is.
tell you that
Needs to be tested.
So
test it, measure it.
So without being too boring, Ben, tell us what friction testing is. What are you doing?
Careful now.
So I work for UDOT, and I travel the state, and every year I test every single state road to measure its friction reading, and we use that information to determine which roads to repave.
I can tell you which ones to repave just by looking at them.
Now, these are state roads. No, you've got to have sophisticated friction testing.
No, it's right there. There's a big crack and there's a pothole. That one needs to be repaved.
Well, that one can wait. It's still got some friction.
And see, with me, it's not even...
And we do have several other methods that we use as well to do that. But there's a lot of different ways you can report potholes that you find on the freeways. You can go to our website, udot.gov, or udot.utah.gov, and
all right, Ben. So this is now falling into boring.
Yeah.
So
the bigger crime is not just the roads; it's the parking lots. There's a parking lot that I go to on a semi-regular basis that is just absolutely the worst, and my car gets beat to hell every time I go there.
Ben you don't have any jurisdiction over parking lots, do you, Ben?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Well, have a good trip to Moab. Be careful on the road, okay?
All right. Thanks for letting me listen. Have a good day.
It's our pleasure. Bye-bye.
Let's go to Tasha. Hello, Tasha.
Good morning.
Well, hello. What's up with you today, Tasha?
I'm just on my way into work, and I thought I'd give a call and check in.
Yeah?
Well done, Tasha.
Where do you work, Tasha?
I work up at a high-rise building in the canyon, in the mouth of Immigration Canyon.
Oh,
So
yeah.
right up there above the zoo.
Yeah, and what do you do there?
I am the housekeeping. I clean every single floor and all the laundry rooms and have all that fun stuff for myself.
That's
so
quite a job.
Yeah.
it is a job. It is a full-time job.
Tasha, do you have a family?
I do have a family. I have 3 beautiful children, a wonderful boyfriend, and kind of one of the reasons I called in. I kind of wanted to do a shout-out PSA announcement.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a rough week at work, and I wanted to call in and just say, Dallin, wrap a pallet. Please wrap a pallet.
Wrap a pallet.
Wrap a pallet.
Okay.
How
For the sake of saving me a half an hour when I get home and hearing about how the pallet isn't wrapped, please wrap a pallet.
I have no.
Okay. It makes sense to Dallin and Tasha.
Yeah. Tasha, one more quick question. Your children, what are their ages?
I have a 4-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 9-year-old.
Boys or girls? Boys or girls?
2 boys and 1 girl.
Okay. Well, would you like? I think maybe the family should go to Disney on Ice.
I think that's an excellent choice, Bill.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is that good? Is that
Really?
good?
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
See?
Now,
And I appreciate the fact that she didn't ask for them.
Yeah. Now, see, here comes the fun part. Am I going to be able to put her on hold?
Tasha, if we lose you here as Carrie attempts to put you on hold, because it's not Carrie's fault, it's the phone system's fault. If you get dropped, call back and say, hi, this is Tasha. Richie will recognize your voice, I think. And you're listening, aren't you, Richie?
Barely.
Yeah, he is. And he'll get your information. But you might be able to be put on hold. We'll try, okay?
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tasha.
You're welcome.
I was able to put her on hold.
Ah, there we go.
Wow. That was close.
Close one.
Tiffany. Hello, Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany.
Hi.
I was, I saw Tiffany's name there, and I thought, maybe we should give the tickets to Tiffany, but I don't know. Tasha cleans the building. And
Yeah,
all that.
Tasha earned them.
Yeah. So what do you do, Tiffany?
I work at Alpha Graphics, and I'm the production scheduler / key operator, so I run the digital print machines.
Alpha Graphics. Where is Alpha Graphics these days?
This West Valley location is located 2189 South, 3200 West.
All right. Well, have a lovely day. Anything you'd like to add?
Nope. You guys are awesome. I listen to you every morning.
Well, see, you did have something to
Yeah.
add. A nice,
We'll take that.
We'll take a nice compliment anytime.
All right, Tiff.
Thanks,
We'll
Tiffany.
see you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Derek.
Hey, Derek.
Morning. Thanks for letting me listen.
Yeah, what's up with you?
I'll just head into work, do some backcountry snowcatting.
That now work is backcountry snowcatting?
Yeah. Avalanche control?
No, it's just getting skiers up and down the backcountry.
You have a fun job.
Really?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, I've said over and over, and I should just do it. Sometime. I've always wanted to ride in one of those, the groomers that they have at the ski resorts. That just looks so amazing what they do.
I was trying to get one of you guys to come for like 7 seasons while I was at my resort.
Yeah, it's probably me, and we just never got it to work out. Well,
That's all good.
Well,
all right, Derek.
Derek,
thanks for sticking with us, Derek.
Yeah, and make sure. I hope your passengers give you a tip today.
Oh, thank you.
All right, see ya.
All right.
Yeah, bye.
Hey, Derek. Let's see. Brock the crude hauler checking in. Let's see. Oh, Liz checking in. Proud I don't have alcohol poisoning after doing my taxes yesterday. A roller coaster of misery.
Yeah.
That time of year.
Let's see. Bort the Wart checking in. Please tell my wife to wake up and feed the pig.
Get up, the pig's hungry.
Feed the pig.
Utah County's Ute fan checking in. Tim the Tree Guy checking in. Meg the Manager, Ogden shut in. Stephen the 911 dispatcher.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
911 dispatcher, that'd be one of those jobs that I think would be really hard all day long. You're
stressful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nurse Jen, Teacher Emily. All right, I guess we got to do a show.
Well, okay, if you say so.
Somewhat.
All right, we'll do it.
Okay. We'll get to it. Big boy news and geek news on the radio after this. And then at 7 o'clock, it's Beat Gina. It's the trivia. And they're not kidding.
What?
Grease, or Grease trivia.
So Grease the movie.
And Grease like Grease. And, the country.
The country.
Okay.
It's multiple choice.
This
It's
will be
easy.
fun.
It's
Okay.
easy. I make it sound harder
It'll
than
be
it is.
for International Sportsman Expo tickets and Prohibition tickets if you want to make plans for that later.
All right. So that's coming up along with round 1 of your boner voting. First, though, I've got to tell you about Subway. Oh, I could use a sandwich right now.
Well, you could. Why don't you plan your lunch, Carrie?
Okay.
Here's what you do.
All right.
Okay, you pick your sub.
All right.
Subway Club, Black Forest ham, sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
Black Forest ham for me today.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, or you could do turkey breast or oven roasted chicken.
Well, those are good.
Then you pick your veggies.
Yeah, okay.
And chips and a drink.
Okay. Yeah, the sun chips. Okay.
This is your start. Oh, I like the sun chips.
I'll just have water.
Starting 5 fresh value meal is what we're talking about. They've partnered up with the Utah Jazz. And when you go in to order your starting 5 fresh value meal to any Subway, ask them about the VIP suite experience with the Jazz. If you win, you and 3 of your friends will enjoy a VIP suite experience on March 30th. That includes food, access to pregame warm-ups where you can see the players shoot and practice. You get a personalized jersey and a Utah Jazz hat. 5 winners will get this whole package, but the only way you can find out about it for real and register is going into Subway. Fresh value meal includes purchase of any sub, drink, chips. For complete contest rules and regulations, visit utahjazz.com/starting5. Subway is a registered trademark of Subway IP Inc. 2018 Subway IP Inc.
Oh, yes, forgot about that
Traffic?
part.
Yeah, we got to do that too. Let's see. There's a house fire. And I heard about this from a friend of the program, so I looked it up. We've got 5th North, 14th East. It's a pretty big fire. 4 agencies are on the scene. And it's going to be causing traffic issues there, getting around that house fire. That's the only traffic issue that we're seeing this morning.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll be back with Big Boy News and Geek News. Stand by.
X96 gives you a 1-hour nonstop music wingding with John Smith right after Radio from Hell.
Here's what Kerry Jackson is doing when he's not on the air.
Well, Kelly, our session is nearly over. So let's get right down to it. What would you say is your biggest problem?
Oh, I'm just a little depressed. I don't know why.
Well, perhaps it's something holding over from your childhood. Tell me about something of your memories from your youth.
Well, one of the distinct memories I have is when my 2 older brothers were playing basketball in our room, and Peter went up for a layup into the garbage can. Greg didn't block it, and the ball bounced down into the living room and broke Mom's favorite vase. You know, I told him over and over, Mom always says, don't play ball in the house.
Carrie,
Carrie? Yeah?
That was an episode of the Brady Bunch.
Oh. Okay. I do distinctly remember when we almost had to get rid of my dog Tiger because we thought that my sister was allergic to him, but it turned out just to be Tiger's dog shampoo, and so...
That was also an episode of the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. I do remember when some bullies at school were picking on my little sister because she had a lisp.
Brady Bunch, Carrie. Brady Bunch.
God, Doctor, you've been right all this time. I have been living in a fantasy world. God, this is so embarrassing.
Is there some sort of traumatic event that happened to cause this?
I never got over the fact that our maid Alice was married to that butcher Sam. God, I wanted her for my own.
Excuse me for just a moment, please. Mrs. Greenlee, could you please send in Mr. Chunga to collect his friend? Carrie's session is now over.
Here's what Bill Allreddy's doing when he's not on the air.
God, Kerry, you must have had a rough session in there.
Yeah. It's good to get out into the air and walk around, though. Gee, just when I think I have it rough, look at that poor bum in that dumpster across the street.
Yeah, I see that guy over there all the time. I think he sleeps in the dumpster. He looks kind of familiar, but I just can't place him.
Oh, boy, looks like Kerry and Chunga across the street. Thank God they didn't spot me. Oh, man, there is some really cool real stuff in here today. Wow, a tuna can. Oh, cool. I think there's some tuna in it.
With Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi on X96.
Did you see your message from Rick up at Snowbird?
I didn't.
In the chat room.
Ah.
He wants you to come up and ride one of the groomers.
I know, I've been...
In the afternoon. He says you can do it anytime you want.
Oh, in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Oh. I think Rick's the guy who made us the Snowbird signs, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, he does all the graphics.
He says
stuff
we
and
can set you up with one of our cat operators some afternoon for a couple of hours of grooming.
They groom in the afternoon, too.
Guess so,
huh?
yeah.
Thanks, Rick.
There you go. All right. We got geek news coming up. Also, Beat Gina. Stand by for that. But first, big boy news and Opinnuendo. Brought to you by...
When life feels like it's crashing down on you from above,
Yes.
Lifetime Roofing is here to offer you peace of mind, Bill.
Oh, good.
In that home of yours, you and your family have your own personal fortress of reassurance. Roofs, or roofs if you prefer, at Lifetime Roofing or Roofing are simply better than everyone else's, period. I just want to make sure all of our Utah people
We should
understand
call
what I'm
them
saying.
and see how they answer the phone. If they say Lifetime Roofing, then that's what it is. Or if they say, hi, Lifetime Roofing, how can we help
I
you?
bet it's roofing.
I think it's probably roofing. There's a giant lizard on the loose.
Where?
He's on the loose. A giant lizard. He's on the loose. He's in California.
Oh,
San
we're
Diego.
safe then.
Well, these guys can travel.
That's right.
Residents near San Diego are warned to watch out for a four-legged fugitive, a 5.5-foot monitor lizard that wriggled out of his cage. Mike Estevez says that the 35-pound lizard, that's one hell of a lizard. That's a pair of
What do you
shoes right
feed
there.
that?
That's a pair of shoes.
Oh, there's a picture, x96.com/live.
He, I think they probably, I don't know. I think monitors will eat almost anything.
There he goes.
You should look it up. He's on the loose. There he is on the loose.
Oh, he's practically a small crocodile.
Yeah, he's now Mr. Estevez. Oh, it says here the carnivorous critter named Bubbles was last seen on Sunday at his store, Mike's Pets in Spring Valley. So at x96.com/live, we had surveillance video footage of Bubbles making the escape. Mr. Estevez says he is carnivorous. So I'm guessing he eats bugs and any small animals he can get. He says Bubbles is good-natured.
How can you tell?
Because he often is let loose in the store when the store is open, and he walks around and kind of, he's okay with the customers in the store, and the customers go, oh. Now Mr. Estevez says, don't grab him, don't try to grab him, because then he'll get kind of mad. So
well, how are you supposed to catch him?
Well, just if you spot him, don't try to catch him. Spot him, call the police, or call Mr. Estevez at his pet store, and they'll come and try and, because he has to rest occasionally. So if you spot him, they might be able to come and get him at rest. But he says here, they're very these lizards are very mobile. I wouldn't be surprised if he was making his way towards Salt Lake City, said Mr. Estevez.
Does he answer when because his name's Bubbles? If you call him, will he come to you?
I think I made that up, but yeah, he looks up. So if you see a giant monitor wandering around, you go, "Hey, Bubbles, Bubbles," and it doesn't stop and look up.
It's not him.
It's not him.
Okay.
So don't call Mr. Estevez.
I know Bubbles.
And Carrie, another animal story here, and then we'll get into some. I don't feel like doing real news, but I guess I will in a minute. A video of an orangutan smoking has brought more criticism of a zoo in Indonesia, infamous for past animal welfare troubles. In the video shot on Sunday, a young man flicks his half-smoked cigarette into the orangutan's enclosure, and the primate goes over, picks up the cigarette, and begins expertly puffing it. It's obviously something
taught him.
He's done before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, now, it's sad, but I think the orangutan there, x96.com/live,
there he is. He's reaching down.
Picking it up. Yeah, he knows how to smoke. And I think
he's got his back turned to us like he's ashamed.
I think he was having a Nicky fit. And this guy was just trying to help him out.
Yeah, that's
I know what it's like, pal. Here you go.
There he is.
Yeah. Now this is probably happened many times before, which is why
he's even flicking the ashes.
I know
somebody taught him how to do this.
So I mean, it's just as like a human. A lot of times they would teach chimpanzees to smoke cigars and cigarettes.
It's a trick.
They became addicted to the tobacco just as a human would, and they need their cigarettes. Or cigars. I remember there was a monkey chimp that always smoked cigars that you would see on TV. So, all right. Despite a veto threat, Utah lawmakers have approved a bill which would allow the legislature to defend state laws in court, despite warnings that it may be unconstitutional and infringe on the powers of the executive and judicial branches. The Utah House voted Wednesday to make it easier for the legislature to intervene in court cases challenging the laws that it passes. The representative, now, it's clearly unconstitutional. They can't, courts will throw this out. They may, and we're going to waste a little bit of taxpayer money because we'll have to send state lawyers to court, and they say, well, representatives voted 61-8 to pass Senate Bill 171 and sent to Governor Herbert for his consideration. Now, Herbert said that he is considering vetoing the bill, which would probably be a good idea.
Yes.
And that would be the end of it.
Yeah. So. Hopefully, I think Gary might veto several bills this time.
Really?
He's usually been pretty good.
You either don't sign them and just let them pass, or you endorse them by signing them.
I think if you look over his record, and I'm just doing this by memory from each session of the legislature, he hasn't vetoed very many things, and he hasn't allowed many. I can't remember him. I think he's done it, but just allowing a bill to go unsigned and die that way. Looks like the Utah Senate is proving friendly to marijuana, a pair of bills that would allow terminally ill people to use marijuana, distributed by the state if doctors expect they'll die within 6 months. That's
what? You have to prove that?
Yeah.
I just, know.
What? No.
See, okay, now look.
No.
So
This could be ongoing therapy for people that are living with the chronic illness.
Stop.
Right.
Here's why they do these things. It's what they call the baby steps.
Yeah.
They put that kind of stuff in there. Now, I think there are probably senators who are saying, oh, my God, that's dumb. But it's not going to pass unless we limit it to this small group of people.
My dad has MS. He's not dying anytime soon. He would desperately like to be able to have medical marijuana to help soothe him through his illness for however many years he has to deal with it.
I
Not
assume
6 months.
I assume he's gone to like Nevada and tried it there and found it to be efficacious for his condition.
He's been on opioids, which he hates because they have side effects that he doesn't want.
You know, there's a study, by the way, that's shown, they say, really, most opioids not really any more effective than heavy doses of Tylenol and ibuprofen.
You're over the counter.
Yeah.
But when with his pain and problems he has, he needs something strong, and he's tired of taking them.
Well,
and he's found that marijuana soothes his pain.
So when he goes to
easier.
Nevada, when he goes to Nevada,
Yes.
he soothes his pain.
Yes.
There across the state line, and then when he comes back, he's
not
in terrible
soothed
pain
when he's home.
So all you people who are not diagnosed to die in 6 months, you have to live with your chronic pain.
For years.
For years.
I would think it would be more with chronic pain.
But the dying, we'll let them have some relief.
Now, Gina, we were talking yesterday. Who was I saying that Russian spies could kill? Who we were talking
Stormy
about?
Daniels?
Was that it?
Yeah, you were saying Stormy Daniels better watch her back.
Yeah,
Or Nunberg, or what's her name in the Thai prison?
Yeah, so and you kind of you poo-pooed that. Did you see this story? A former Russian spy.
Well, it's their own.
Well, they've done it to people that are not their own too. A former Russian spy and his daughter were poisoned by a nerve agent in England this week, and the British authorities are saying, we think it's the Russian the Secret Service who's trying to get them. Now, it's a nerve agent that they somehow released in London, which could have affected other people as well. The Russians are they're turning into, the government under Putin. They're getting very aggressive, and they're turning into bad actors.
Why do you think I'm doing exactly what they tell me to do?
Listen, I'm getting tired of this kind of thing, saying Donald Trump colluded with the Russians. I just don't see any evidence of colluding. Russian leader Vladimir Putin on Wednesday said he's disappointed by how the United States political system is eating itself up, but revealed that President Trump has not let him down, he said. Calling Trump a great communicator, Putin said, I have no disappointment in Trump at all.
Because I have done everything that he has told me to do so
He's
far.
made a very good impression on me. He described Trump, whom he met last year on the sidelines of summits in Germany and Vietnam, a balanced man who grasps the issues and is a good listener. Okay, so they're pals. Because Trump has not yet said anything negative about
He's
Mr.
a strong
Putin.
leader.
Yeah.
He said that.
Well, he's great.
Right.
And, just one other quick item, because I know we have geek news. The NYPD says they are just about this close now, really close to arresting Harvey Weinstein.
Yay!
They've been collecting evidence in a case, one of the allegations against him. They think they have enough to make it stick and put him in court, and it looks as though they're going to arrest Harvey Weinstein, and there will be some sort of a trial. All right? All right, that's it. Sports, weather, traffic?
Brought to you by Try the Buck and Under menu at Del Taco for the most fresh choices for $1 or less, like 69-cent mini quesadillas and 89-cent burritos and the new $1 salsa chicken taco. The Jazz won last night, 104-84 in Indiana. Very convincing win for them. And the boys are back. Real Salt Lake comes in kicking with their first match of the season at Rio Tinto Stadium this Saturday, March 10th against LAFC. Kickoff is at 1:30. You can buy tickets at rsl.com, or you can enter to win an RSL opening game prize pack. It includes 4 tickets to the game, dinner at the Interform Club, pregame field passes, jerseys, scarves, access to the postgame autograph session. You enter to win that by going to x96.com. Weather today, well, we just keep getting warmer, 56 and sunny for a high today. Let's have a quick check of traffic. Let's see. Delays for those trying to get into the west gate of Hill Air Force Base. Cars are backed up to the exit ramp from northbound I-15. And a house fire in Fruit Heights. Some roads around this fire may have reduced lanes or be closed. It's 500 North, 14th East. There are 4 fire agencies involved in this fire, so pretty big issue there. But that's it, unless you want to text us something, 33986.
All right. Just sponsored.
Well, it's always sponsored.
Every time by Cabin Fever.
Yeah.
Action figures, playing cards, jigsaw puzzles, gift books, magic, and more. Cabin Fever carries a large selection of awesome givable and receivable merchandise. Located in the heart of Trolley Square, 5th South, 7th East. Cabin Fever, so much more than a card store.
They got candy. They got candy there.
Mm-hmm. Retro candy.
Yeah, old-time candy.
All right, so we were talking about your Lost in Space trailer.
Right. Did you watch the whole thing?
I did.
It's good, isn't it?
And it looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It is not your daddy's Lost in Space,
nope,
so to speak.
No kidding. This is Will Robinson of the 24th Colonist Group. I'm the first human to discover evidence of an alien intelligence.
Now, the plot of the Lost in Space is, the Robinson family fleeing Earth to colonize somewhere.
It's like the Swiss family Robinson, but now it's the space family Robinson.
The original conceit is that they brought a robot with them, and Dr. Smith, he stowed away, right?
Right, and he was trying to sabotage the flight.
Well, in this, neither is the stowaway part, apparently, or the bringing the robot along.
Yeah.
They find the robot?
They find the robot on an alien planet.
Will does, yeah.
And he definitely looks alien, this robot.
And menacing.
Yeah, he looks like something out of Mass Effect.
Gently.
And
I don't know what Mass Effect is,
it's
Carrie.
a video game. What the hell are you? Right there. But you got the Jupiter 2.
Yeah.
You got their space suits. You got the dad and the kids. And
so it's Molly Parker as the mom, and Parker Posey
as Dr. Smith. So
Robinsons stick together.
now the creators of the show, they say that it's a true family adventure in the vein of the original Jurassic Park, designed to appeal to the nostalgia of fans of the original series and newcomers who want something less campy.
It looks like the pretty good special effects and stuff.
Yeah, the effects look terrific.
My stiff-necked kids who love the original, my rigid kids, they said, I said the original was campy and it was meant to be campy. No, it wasn't meant to be campy.
Of course it was.
I said, oh, come on.
Yeah.
So it's like 13 episodes, I think.
I don't know how many, but it's at least 10.
And when is it? March?
It debuts April 13th.
April 13th.
So very soon.
So several episodes. I'm betting that they lighten up. That's pretty dark. I bet it lightens up a little bit.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Another trailer that we got yesterday, and it's Netflix as well, is the latest look at Luke Cage Season 2.
Yo, I'm Luke Cage.
I ain't no joke.
You can't burn me, you can't blast me, and you definitely can't break me.
I ain't no joke.
You wanna test me? Step up. I'm right here.
Get paid, black man. Get paid. So that's coming June. I mean, it was just Jessica Jones just dropped on Netflix right now.
That's season 2?
And that's season 2 of Jessica Jones, and they're already getting you ready for Luke Cage on Netflix.
Now, you weren't crazy about the first season of Luke Cage, right?
I liked it up to a point. I felt like they killed their best villain and then moved on to a different villain, and they shouldn't have done that. But other than that, it was terrific, if you're a Marvel Comics fan. And speaking of Marvel, they moved the Avengers up a week. We reported this earlier in the week.
Like it was supposed to be Memorial Day,
It was
but
supposed to be the first. It's been a tradition that the first Saturday in May is always free comic book day at comic book stores across the nation, and we usually get a comic book based movie. For 10 years, that's been happening since the first Iron Man movie. Well, the Avengers had that slot. They decided to move up a week. Well, because of that, everybody else is scrambling to change their dates as well.
Oh.
Specifically, Rampage.
What is that?
Which is Dwayne Johnson's movie with the giant monkey.
The
Oh,
Rock.
the big white ape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Rampage has moved from April 20th to April 13th. They moved up a week, and there were a couple other movies as well that changed their dates. Ready Player One, that opens March 30th. They're staying where they're at.
Does Spielberg direct that?
Yes, he did.
Huh.
Which was interesting because the plot of Ready Player One it's so Spielberg nostalgia based, the story, because the guy who wrote it was inspired by Spielberg's movies. And so the conceit of it is it's a game where you can pick items from pop culture and play as those people, or you can have the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
It's virtual reality.
Yeah. The book leans heavy on Spielberg mythos, but when he was directing it, he said, I feel uncomfortable putting my stuff in it. And I'm like, but that's the point. You should you should be okay with it. And he said, ever since I parodied myself in 1941, because he did a Jaws parody at the beginning of the movie, he says, I haven't felt right about being.
I get that.
About being
That makes sense.
self-referential. So he says he's not going to do that.
Somebody else should have directed it.
Let's see. I'll save that story for some other time. But this one, finally, John Williams.
The composer.
Yes. Who's done the music for all but, I think, one of the Star Wars movies.
About 102 years
86
old.
years old.
86, yeah.
He recently said in an interview that he planned on scoring the upcoming Episode 9, but then that's enough.
Really?
He says, we know J.J. Abrams is preparing one now for next year that I will hopefully do for him. I look forward to it. It'll round out a series of 9, and that will be quite enough for me.
By now, doesn't he just have a Star Wars score generator that
you'd think?
He just,
Here, I got it. Here, look, there's some music in this barrel.
Yeah, you just sort of rearrange it a little bit.
He
But
says, I've been doing this since 77. I had no idea that there would be more films. Also,
I'm tired.
His contingency to be in this current one, to do the music for this current one, the first question that he asked of Kathleen Kennedy, he said, is Daisy Ridley in it? Ray? She said yes, and he goes, okay, I'll do it then.
Really?
That was his thing. I love that character. I have some music written just for her. That's the only reason that I'm going to do it is because I like her so much.
He's he's a well-regarded composer.
Oh, yes.
He's done a lot of other stuff as well besides Star Wars, and people say he's really nice.
That's what I hear. There you go. A little bit of geek news. Beat Gina coming up in a moment. We'll tell you about that and what you can win and how you can play coming up in a moment.
Looks like there's some delays getting onto Hill Air Force Base. The West Gate cars are backed up to the exit ramp northbound I-15. There's a home on fire in Fruit Heights, 500 North 14th East, and reduced lanes and closed lanes affecting traffic in that area. 4 different fire agencies are on the scene. And if you see something traffic-wise, you can text it to us, 33986. Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
Well, don't get in a crash. You don't want to get in a crash out there. Be careful. But if something happens and your car needs to be fixed up after a collision,
remember my fiery crash?
Yeah, Everest Collision Repair is the people to do it. And I assume they fixed that car right up, even though it was a fiery crash.
Yeah, no, it's and I had the app on my phone, which made it easy to get an estimate quickly, and they do excellent work there.
Everest Collision Repair also can put $200 towards an additional dent or detail or some spring cleanup to make your car look nice again. Sean and his team work with all the insurance companies, and again, it's your choice where your car gets repaired. The insurance company, they may say, we'd like to get an estimate from our guy, but...
And you may have to get an estimate from their guy, but in the end, you get to pick where it gets done.
So it's Everest Collision Repair. That's why we take our vehicles. They have locations in Salt Lake, Sandy, Tooele, and Ogden. You can get more information and download the app at everestcollisionrepair.com.
All right, 877-602-9696. Time to call. Get lined up to play Beat Gina. If she beats you at trivia, you've got to have a prize to give her.
If you beat me, however, I have a gift certificate to Prohibition and tickets to go to the International Sportsman's Expo.
It's Grease, Grease, or Grease trivia. It's multiple choice. It's easy, actually. Don't worry about it. It's not. It's not that hard.
Not that hard.
Don't worry about it. We'll get you there. All right, 877-602-9696 to play Beat Gina. Hi there, it's Kerry Jackson. Geek Show is me and all my best friends sitting in my basement studio, drinking, laughing, and talking about the stuff we love. Sci-fi, movies, TV shows, comic books, toys, games, and more. Get a new Not Safe for Work episode every Monday morning.
GeekShowPodcast.com.
Here's reason number 67 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Diamonds Direct is the only jeweler here with offices inside the World Diamond Exchange in Tel Aviv. You see, any jeweler can claim to be a direct importer or have so-called partnerships overseas, but the owners of Diamonds Direct have special access that others simply don't have. Nobody can get closer to the source than Diamonds Direct. Indeed, Diamonds Direct is recognized in the industry as a world diamond powerhouse with unrivaled buying power and decades of inside connections that go back to their roots as actual diamond cutters. Bottom line, Diamonds Direct is without question the jeweler here that can truly offer the absolute best value. We're talking direct importer prices on hand-select diamonds that come straight from the source. Make no mistake, Diamonds Direct refuses to be undersold on GIA-certified diamonds, and we challenge you to let us prove it. Diamonds Direct, your source for the ultimate diamond value. 6400 South across the street from Fashion Place Mall.
Homeowners, do you have low water pressure in your house? When you flush a toilet, does the person in the shower have to run for cover so they don't get scalded? Or have you or your neighbors had leaks in their pipes? Many people don't realize that these problems are caused by old pipes that are either corroding down to a trickle or just plain springing a leak. Fortunately, this problem can be solved by repiping your home. I'm Jeff Butler of Repipe Specialists. We've helped over 30,000 homeowners just like you by replacing their old corroded pipes with new, high-quality PEX or copper pipes. It only takes us 1 or 2 days to repipe an entire home, plus we patch the walls and give you a lifetime guarantee. And in celebration of 20 years of repiping, right now on approved credit, you will repipe with us and give you 0% interest for an entire year. That's right, a repipe, wall patching, and a lifetime guarantee, all at 0% interest.
From the big ledger. Today's story is about a young working woman who has some rather unusual ideas about filing her taxes. Let's have a listen, shall we?
Come on in, Miss Trixie, isn't it?
Whatever you want it to be, sugar.
I was finalizing your return, and I came across some items which the IRS might have some questions about.
Well, I filled out the forms the best I could. What more do you need to know?
You've listed your occupation here as working girl. Well, we all work. Could you be a little more specific?
Well, I thought it seemed a bit more polite than prostitute.
Yeah.
I suppose you could change it to hooker, streetwalker, hoe, escort, chicken rancher, whichever's more correct.
Chicken rancher?
Well, I'm pretty good at raising cows.
No! I think that escort might not flag it on it. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Now, you've listed $8,000 in advertising expenses. This seems a bit excessive.
Well, in my business, you can't make any money if you don't get noticed. So I got these. 38 double Ds. What do you think?
They are very nice. You could put those away now. But advertising?
Well, they sure stop traffic.
Well, why don't we list them as capital assets? Then you can depreciate them over time.
Okay.
What about this $25,000 for office improvements? Didn't you say you were a prostitute? What office?
Well, I had to have a new lamp post put in. You know, the old one did a lousy job of showing off my new capital assets.
We'll come back to that. $12,000 in office supplies?
Condoms.
Oh, well, that offers all the questions I have. Do you realize, Miss Trixie, that you could increase the amount of your return if you had your pimp set up a 401k plan for you?
Hey, that's a great idea.
There you have it, creeps. Another great tale from our ledger. Our working girl sure seems to know the tricks of the trade. Remember, keep good records, or you'll end up paying the IRS to screw you.
Hell is on X96. Oh, and on Twitter. Follow us at Radio from Hell.
All right, 7:05 right now, and
please.
Oh, I need the theme music. Come on.
It's time to play the game that everyone wants to play. It's Beat Gina. If you play Beat Gina today, you could win fabulous prizes. Simply call 877-602-9696 and tell the fine phone screener what prize you'll offer Gina if she beats you. But if you win, here's what you get. Looking to cut a rug on the weekends? Prohibition has dancing, live entertainment, DJs, and burlesque. You heard right. Burlesque. For full event schedule, calendar reservations, and more, go to prohibitionutah.com. But that's not all. You'll also win. Try the gear, buy the trips, meet the pros at the International Sportsman's Expo coming March 15th through the 18th to the Mountain America Expo Center. See the latest in fishing, hunting, and outdoor gear. Come see everything the outdoors has to offer. Tickets are just $14. Youth under 15 are free. Use the code X96 to get $4 off at the door or at sportsmansexpo.com. But you might win tickets to that as well. And now, here's your host. Clad in the wonderful suit from Mr. Guy of Hollywood.
Thank you.
Carrie Jack Jackson.
Oh, thank you so much. Let's get to our contestants. This is how we decide the contestant. We have 3 lined up. Gina will pick who she plays against, not knowing anything about them other than the prize that they are offering to give her.
Let's hear it.
If she beats them. Line 1 is offering you a stapler and a highlighter. A stapler and a highlighter from an old job.
Okay, from an old job.
That's a stapler and a highlighter from an old job.
All right. Line 2 is offering you cash and hygiene donation for the road home.
The road home. It touches your heart.
Line 3, though, is offering you a gift card to Arctic Circle. Let me just say 2 words. Lime Ricky. I don't know if it's Lime Ricky season or not, but
it's kind of a warm weather drink.
You could hang on to that for Square Pumpkin. And may I suggest a brown topper? They're delicious.
I would love one.
You've already given Arctic Circle too much.
We always do.
I'm going to go with number 2.
Number 2, which means you'll be playing against Casey for these prizes. And if Casey loses, Casey has to make a donation of cash and hygiene to the road home. Casey, are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
All right, Casey.
I've been ready.
I'm going to throw a little spin to this game.
Uh-oh.
Because the topics of the of the questions are Grease, the movie, Grease, the lubricant, or Grease, the country.
Okay.
At some point in the game, I'm going to let you decide a category. So choose wisely, whether you do that early or whether you save that toward the end to get you some points.
Okay. I see
All right,
where
you
you're
got
going.
that? All right, so at some point, I'll allow you to do that.
I don't know what we're going to do. Our host has gone rogue.
I know, right? But let's get back to the actual game. It behooves you. It gives you the advantage to go first. Let me get out the coin toss app, and Casey, you tell me heads or tails.
Heads.
All right, let's see what we got here. It is tails. Gina goes first. All right, and remember, at any time, you can choose the category of trivia question.
Anytime.
At any time. All right, ready, Gina?
I'm ready.
I'm purposely not giving her any Grease movie
That's
trivia.
the one I'm going to ask for at the opportune time.
I'm not going to give you any. Which Greek god is the god of wine and partying? Is it A, Aphrodite, B, Zeus, C, Dionysus, or D, Polyus Shorus?
Dionysus.
Dionysus is correct. All right.
Actually, I believe it's Dionysus.
Dionysus? All right, fine.
That's what the announcer's for.
All right.
That's one for Gina, but Casey controls the question, a chance to tie.
Casey, do you wish to choose the subject, or should I choose for you?
I want the Grease movie.
Grease movie.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. At prom, which fruit does Danny say Frenchie looks like? Is it A, an apple, B, a prune, C, a banana, or D, a pineapple?
D, a pineapple.
That is
A
correct.
beautiful blonde pineapple.
That is correct.
It's 1-1. Gina controls the question. Why would anyone say anyone looks like a pineapple?
Because she had to do.
All right. Gina, do you wish to pick your category?
Not yet.
Okay. Gina, what is the main fluid component in most greases? Is it A, mineral oil, B, vodka, C, water, or D, castor oil?
Mineral oil.
Wow.
That's correct. Gina now leads the game 2-1. Casey controls the question, has a chance to tie.
Now, Casey's already picked her category, so she can't. All right. Casey. Hades is the Greek word for what? Is it A, the devil, B, hatred, C, hell, or D, death?
Oh, my gosh. B?
Hatred?
Yeah,
Is that your answer?
that is my answer.
That is incorrect.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Gina,
Gina.
chance to steal.
It's hell.
It is hell.
Absolutely correct. Gina gets it, wins the game 3-1, just like that.
Oh, I didn't get. Give me a grease question.
Well, let's settle up with Casey, and then we'll...
Okay, Casey, you promised cash and hygiene items for the road home, which is very nice of you. Thank you for doing that. Because you're such a nice person and a fellow lover of Grease, the movie, I'm going to go ahead and give you the Prohibition gift card and the tickets to International Sportsman's Expo.
All right.
Awesome.
We'll put you on hold. We'll get your information. Thank you.
Is the announcer the only one in the room who's a fan of Grease the lubricant?
I'll hit you. I'll hit
my
you with
sign
one.
off,
How
by
about
the way.
Oh, wait.
All right.
So here,
Well,
okay.
Are you
That's
ready
her
for
sign off? Somebody needs to remember that for her.
I'm writing it down.
All right. Here's your question, then, announcer. Since you're a fan of
Grease the lubricant.
The lubricant. Let's see. What should you never do to hot/boiling grease? You should A, leave it where it is. B, scrub it with gloves on. C, throw water on it. Or D, cook it.
Well, Carrie, you should never throw water on it.
That is correct. Very good.
Give me Grease movie.
Big fan of Grease the lubricant.
Gina.
By the way, my name is Johnny when I'm doing this.
That's right, Johnny. Gina. Yes. In Grease, how many times do Danny and Sandy break up? How many times? Was it A, 5, B, 3, C, 1, or D, they never broke up, they loved each other the whole time?
Well, this is a complicated question.
No, it's
'Cause
not.
Did she just go home, or did they break up? Did she? Because
I have an answer. According to Nick, anyway.
Okay.
You don't know?
Well, I would
guess at least.
3.
3 is correct.
Okay, but
All right.
You know they could have solved all of those problems had they employed Grease the lubricant.
What are the 4 common thickeners used in grease, Johnny? Is it A, silver, copper, zinc, and carbon? B, oil, citric acid, oxygen, and fermium? C, lithium, calcium, sodium, and aluminium? Or D, calcium, beryllium, iridium, and magnesium?
What do you say B again?
B is oil, citric acid, oxygen, and fermium.
B!
That is incorrect. Lithium, calcium, sodium, and aluminum.
That's a very rarefied form of Grease the lubricant.
Very rarefied. Tonight on Grease the Lubricant. All right.
Oh, that was
Traffic.
That was fun. Is traffic fun though? That's what you're asking me. Trouble getting onto Hill Air Force Base? I know we have a lot of friends of the program that work on base and let me know when they're stuck. So I see that the West Gate was having some trouble. Let me know if that's opened up at all. And I have no other crashes to report. So all that information needs to come to me via text 33986.
All right. Do we have our round 1?
Why, yes. Oh, yeah, I'm scared.
Johnny,
Yeah. Yes, we know.
leave, get out.
Yeah. I'll see you later. Let's see. So here are the boner candidates for round 1. So it didn't occur to anyone that this might be offensive. Boner candidate number 2, rough and tumble maybe, stupid for sure. And boner candidate number 3, we got to get them gays first.
All right. Round one of your boner voting coming up, along with Big Boy News and Opinnuendo. Got to tell you about, let's see.
Sandwich.
Subway. We got to talk about the sandwiches.
You're making me. We talked about them early, but give me another choice.
It's a starting 5 fresh value meal. So here are the subs you pick.
All right.
You can get Subway Club, Black Forest ham, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, turkey breast, or oven roasted chicken.
I'm feeling good about myself. Let's go with oven roasted chicken.
Okay.
I'm going to go with a club.
You want a club?
Then you pick your veggies and your chips and your drink.
You want lettuce, light mayonnaise, black olives.
That's your starting 5 fresh value meal. Now you have to go into Subway to order that, of course. And while you're in there, ask them about the VIP suite experience with the Utah Jazz. If you win, you and 3 of your friends will enjoy a VIP suite experience on March 30th. It includes food, access to the pregame warm-up where you can see the players shoot and practice. You also get 1 personalized jersey and 1 Utah Jazz hat. Now, there's going to be 5 different winners of this, but you have to go into Subway to find out how to enter. Fresh value meal includes purchase of any sub, drink, and chips. For complete contest rules and regulations, please visit utahjazz.com/starting5. Subway is a registered trademark of Subway IP Inc. 2018 Subway IP Inc.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
This is very unorthodox.
At 10 a.m., right after Radio from Hell, at 1 p.m. while you're listening in the workplace, and at 4:30 for your drive home.
What's all this mean? Can't you say it in English?
1-hour non-stop music wingdings 3 times a day at 10, 1, and 4:30. Only on X96.
The ending has begun. The final cross-country run of the Vans Rump Tour with Simple Plan. Welcome to my life. The Used. So here I am. It's in my head. We the Kings. Run, baby, run. Plus 40 more bands across 6 stages. Saturday, June 30th.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains. That is for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord.
Since someone offered you $3,500 on your clunker. Cash for clunkers is back at National Plaza. Bring me your clunker, no matter what condition or value. Even if it's worth $1, push it, pull it, it's worth $3,500 at National. No clunker, no problem. National Auto Plaza will give you $3,500 above market value on your trade-in. Cash for clunkers is back all month at National Auto Plaza. Look for the giant American flag.
At Shane Company, we listen to our customers. And Jack, who recently bought an engagement ring, wrote about it on Yelp.
We could just find the right parts. I can have your hyperbike making light speed in no time. Well, where in heaven's name are we going to find parts for a hyperbike on this backwater planet?
They showed me many different
like
options and really helped me save money.
Cantina?
Now, I recommend Shane Company to everyone.
Shop around, then come to Shane Company last. You'll find more rings to choose from within your budget than anywhere else in town. More vintage styles, Halo styles, Infinity styles, whatever look she's dreaming of. We always have thousands of hand-picked diamonds in every price range, so you'll have many more diamonds to choose from that fit your budget. It's worth the drive
check out
to
that
Shane
cool-looking guy
Company,
sitting
where
by
you decide
himself
how
over
much
there.
you
What
want to
guy?
spend
The one sitting
on
next to
your
that giant
engagement
furry
ring.
carpet.
Now,
He
you
looks
have
like
a
the
friend
kind
in
of
the
guy who
diamond
would know his way around the
Shane
black
Company,
market. I'll bet he knows
Shanko.com.
That giant furry carpet is breathing and just happens to be heavily armed. How am I
deal on new Hondas over at
Excuse me,
Stock
sir,
Grow.
but I believe
I have
that
a
you could
really
be of
big
some service
idea.
to us.
Every
what is
purchase of a newer certified Honda now includes a parrot.
What?
No, sir.
No, that's not
We
big enough.
represent the
Think
Church of Jesus
bigger.
Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
You
How
know,
about
the
every
Mormons.
Honda comes with its very own
He
walrus?
just wanted me to remind you
This
that
should be
Wookiees
easy.
have
You're
been known
friends
to
with a
rip the
giant.
arms off of
Think of
missionaries if they
giant
stick around
deals.
too long.
Every Honda
So
now
what is
comes
it?
with, I don't know, an
Need me to
African
smuggle a
forest
shitload of
elephant.
I feel like you're
No, but if you
stuck
need
on
a
this
complimentary
animal
copy of the
thing.
Book of
It
Mormon, we
doesn't
can
have
arrange
to be an
that.
animal.
All I
Well, we
need is a
could bring
charge
back
blaster by
zero
my side. I
down
ain't
on
putting
every
my
new and
faith
certified
in some
Honda.
old religion.
We haven't done
I
that in
believe
years.
that you would find the
That's
Book
a
of Mormon to be
great
more powerful than
idea.
any
Okay, then it's
blaster,
settled. No
and it
parrots
serves
and
to
zero money
recharge
down
us
on every
rather
new
than
and certified
us
Honda.
needing to
Only
recharge
it's stocked in
it.
12 Honda.
1, 2, 3, 4,
What is it that you guys came in here for anyway?
We need a plasma inverter for a Mark 32.
I want to tell you about a brand new concept called Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Their store is now open in Riverdale, on Riverdale Road just east of the Home Depot. Get an unbelievable haircut, hot lather neck shave, and hot towel treatment for just $12. Lady Jane's is unreal.
You'll find a plasma inverter on your hyperbike when you get outside.
You got a deal. Let's go, Lehigh.
Aiding and abetting suspected felons. Zone Leader Henson will not like this.
Now, maybe we won't put it on our report, okay? Excuse me, Mr. Greedo, sir. Hi, I'm Elder Jensen, and this is Elder Christiansen.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Will Lehigh and Butch ever get the plasma inverter off of this godforsaken rock of a planet? Will Han Solo try to shoot his way out of his neck scrape, or will he try using the Book of Mormon? Will Greedo join the church just to get away from our elders? Tune in next time to hear Lehigh say, I can't believe we got thrown out of a sleazy cantina for bothering the regulars.
Well, beats the heck out of having your arms pulled off by a Wookiee.
On the next eye-crossing episode of Space Elders!
All right, 721.
Well, I hope you're all at x96.com/live right now. Because
am.
if you are experiencing the Amazing Lash Studio Amazing Lash Cam. I'm going to be at Amazing Lash Studio in Sugar House on Saturday from 4 to 6 for their grand opening. It's lash extensions for the lazy, like me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time for mascara.
No,
Who's got
no.
time for that?
This is great. You just lie back and
It's a good chance for you to get a nap.
Exactly.
While they do your lashes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious. I don't think men have this done much. I'd be really curious
They
to do it.
They do it for you.
I'd be really curious to. I mean, my lashes are almost non-existent.
Oh, they're blondish.
They're blondish,
Mhm.
so you can't really see them. I wonder what it'd be like if you could sort of see them.
You'd be coquettish.
I'd be a freak, wouldn't I?
No, you look great.
We'd see.
You think?
We'd have to see. All right, it's time for round one of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide with your vote. Of these 3, which one is the worst? Which one deserves to go forward and get that chance, that 50-50 chance to become boner of the day? If it wins here, it just gets the chance.
Yeah.
It has to go up against the winner of round 2's boner voting. Yes, we do this again at 8:20.
What?
And then we pick those 2 candidates that win, throw them into Boner Dome at 9:20 for Boner Fight, and that's where Boner of the Day is decided. So here we are, round 1. You pick 2 candidates now, then a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
I can't buy it, gotta win it. Radio from Hell boner t-shirt courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair, Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon, try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
So, boner candidate number 1. So, it didn't occur to anyone that this might be offensive. Now, I'm not blaming the kid who did this. A photo of a student who had painted his face black to impersonate an African-American figure has sparked outrage among Miami Catholic school people after this photo was shared online. The photo was taken during a Black History Month celebration at St. Thomas the Apostle Catholic School in Miami. 4th graders.
Little kid, 10-year-olds.
These are 4th graders.
9, 10-year-olds.
So they have been asked to dress up as famous African Americans while doing a presentation on them. Now, one of the students chose former Secretary of State Colin Powell, and this student went so far as to put on blackface. Now, he's a 4th grader.
This is the parents' fault.
Yeah. And the school's fault for posting the photo.
Also, I was going to say, in their instructions, dress as a famous African American.
But they didn't say.
They should have said at that point.
That's a teaching moment.
That's where you say exactly. Yeah. So I kind of blame the teacher.
Well, yeah. So the kid comes to school.
Yeah.
And the teacher, I think, rightfully thought, well, he's really trying to commit to the project. He doesn't know. No. But we should. There's the teaching moment. And take the makeup off, and then we'll do the photo. But they didn't do that. They just let it go and then took the photo and posted it online. And people got upset. Not at the kid, at the teacher and at the school for doing this. And I think rightfully so. Didn't it occur to anyone that this might be offensive? Well, one of the teachers said, no, it did not occur to us. It should have. Boner candidate number 1.
Oh.
Boner candidate number 2. Rough and tumble, maybe. Stupid for sure. And 2010, at a friend's party, strapping young 19-year-old rugby player Sam Ballard swallowed a garden slug on a dare.
Yeah.
A dare
A group of friends were sitting around, rugby players, drinking some red wine when a slug was produced, and one of them said, "Eat it, I dare you." And Sam swallowed the slug.
Ugh.
Prior to this, Mr. Ballard's mother, Katie, had thought her son was invincible, that nothing could happen to him. She described him as my rough and tumble Sam. But his life took a devastating turn because the slug was infected with rat lungworm.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
It is. The worm is found in rodents. But snails or slugs can become infected when they eat the feces of rats with the parasite, known as, I can't pronounce it. While most people develop no symptoms, very rarely it causes an infection in the brain. Sam contracted eosinophilic. He got really sick with a kind of encephalitis. He went from being a strapping rugby player, and there was a picture there of him with his teammates, to being pretty much a vegetable.
Don't eat things on dares.
No. So he was rough and tumble maybe, but stupid for sure.
Yes.
For eating the slug. Boner candidate number 2. There was a picture at x96.com/live. They go away so fast. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. Well, we got to get them gays first.
All right, boner candidate number 3 for round 1. Coming up after this, big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
Feldman's Deli, featuring corned beef, pastrami, mustard, pickles, imported from New York City. Now serving breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Saturday, dinner Thursday through Saturday, featuring local live music Friday and Saturday nights, 20th East, 27th South. Go to feldmansdeli.com.
We need to get some of their breakfast in here.
You know,
the breakfast they do is amazing.
I wish, when we do ads like that and stuff for Feldman's and other, like the Subway and all of that, I always think, why can't somebody just produce that right now?
Immediately? Because you talk about it, and then you're like, I would like that right now.
It should be in front of us right now, and we'll eat it. Let's get on, see if we can make that work somehow.
Well, it's just they stopped serving breakfast at 10, and that's when the show ends. So I wish there was some way. Anyway.
Here you go. You'll like this picture if we have it at x96.com/live. A 77-year-old woman received stitches and treatments for rabies after a wild otter viciously attacked her while she was kayaking down a river in Florida.
I don't believe this. Otters are sweet, lovely animals. That's kind of a scary one, though.
They're fun they're fun to watch.
Yeah, they can be jerks.
But
they sleep holding hands.
But
that's so cute.
You don't want to mess with them. No. Sue Spector and her husband Marty and Sue were going kayaking today down Braden River early Sunday morning with a group of about 10 people when they spotted an otter. Spector told the local TV station that the animal suddenly jumped on her and began clawing at her. It was very pristine. It was very nice. And I heard someone make a comment that, oh, look, there's an otter. And then all of a sudden he jumped on the kayak, and 2 seconds later he jumped on me. Spector recalled the animal clawing, scratching, and biting her arms, nose, ear. Marty Spector, who is 78, said he was in front of his wife's kayak, Yeah, I like to spend my time in front of my wife's kayak. He heard the screams. He turned around. The otter's just savaging her. Now she has to be treated for rabies.
Yikes.
The rogue otter, I believe, escaped after attacking Ms. Becker. Well, speaking of attacks, Mike Noel, Utah Representative Mike Noel, has dropped his controversial proposal to name a southern Utah highway after President Trump.
Because he thought better of it?
No.
No.
He insists that he had enough votes to pass the bill, but was worn down by hundreds of personal attacks and death threats.
Wrong.
Quote, if you say nice things about the president, you are somehow a despicable person,
yes.
the Republican lawmaker said Wednesday. Mike, that's not why you're a despicable person.
Yeah, there are many other reasons.
So Noel had wanted to rebrand the 631-mile Utah National Park Highway as a way to honor Trump for listening to the state's Republican leaders. One woman, he said, yelled a string of profanities at him that ended with a distinct F off. Someone else called him a lowlife. And now this is, I love, a few constituents got his home number and said foul, vile things when his daughter picked up the phone. Now, he makes it sound as though they somehow ferreted out his home phone number. As I recall, on the state legislature's webpage, all of the legislators' cell phones and home phones are listed.
Now, death threats is going too far. But people letting him know that they don't like this idea that's part of your job is to hear from your constituents.
And Mike, I know you're all excited right now because he listened to me. Listen, you've got a few more years. This guy's going to be thrown in jail, all right? He's at least going to be impeached. And so do you want that disgrace on one of our highways?
We just have to take the signs down, and that would cost a lot of money.
Again,
because we'd
money
have a lot of money to make the signs, and then a lot of money to take them down.
Yeah, money that we could spend elsewhere.
Yeah, still in all red. No
Here's
relation.
my proposal, and I told this to Spencer Cox yesterday when he was here. Let Mike Noel name it Donald Trump Highway. But if Donald Trump is impeached, convicted of a crime, or quits, Mike Noel should be personally responsible for the costs to change the name to the Barack Obama Highway.
I fully support this.
I'll bet you Spencer Cox went and said something to him. Just, hey, Mike, just off the side here. This is what we might do if you go ahead with this, and that's why. Nobody called him.
So you're welcome.
I
welcome.
fully support that proposal.
Okay, thank you.
The adult film actress Stephanie Clifford, otherwise known as Stormy Daniels, who claimed to have an affair with Donald Trump, is now saying she may talk, but Trump's lawyer has gotten a restraining order to silence Stormy Daniels. He secretly obtained a temporary restraining order last week to prevent the porn star from speaking out about her alleged affair with Mr. Trump.
If it's not true, why do they have a problem with her talking? Just say it's fake news and move on. Yeah. Why all the efforts to silence her?
The order, you don't have to wonder at all. The order issued by an arbitrator in California and reviewed by the New York Times pertained to the actress Stephanie Clifford, who had been paid previously $130,000 before the 2016 election in what she calls a hush agreement. In recent weeks, she is prepared to speak publicly about Trump, claiming his lawyer, Michael Cohen, had broken the agreement. The details of the order emerged on Wednesday after the White House spokeswoman, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, said that Trump's lawyer had won an arbitration proceeding against Ms. Clifford, who goes by the name of Stormy Daniels. Sanders' statement put the White House in the middle of the story. Yeah. Now the White House is in the middle of the story. And she said, we've spoken about this many times. I've said this before, and that's all we're going to say about it. Which is not true. It's a lie. This is the first time she's ever mentioned this.
And by admitting that it's an arbitration, is admitting that there's something between them. You don't go into arbitration for something that didn't happen.
Yeah. Daniels. Daniels. Yeah. I always like that song. It's corny, but I like it.
The Classics 4.
Yeah. So anyway, did I hear right? And I think maybe you said it, Carrie, but I haven't seen anything about it. That the lawyer Cohen,
yes,
who paid the $130,000 initially, is pissed because he's never been paid back.
He has said to friends, "I never got paid back."
Yeah.
So he wasn't lying then when he said, "I have not been reimbursed for that money by Donald Trump," because he hasn't.
That is true.
Been reimbursed yet.
He is pissed that he has not been reimbursed.
Apparently, Donald Trump has been speaking to witnesses and people who've been involved in the Mueller investigation.
You know, witness tampering.
The special counsel in the Russia investigation has learned of two conversations in recent months in which President Trump asked key witnesses about matters that they discussed with Mueller's investigators.
So what do you?
According to three people familiar with the encounters. In one episode, the president told an aide that the White House counsel, Donald McGahn II, should issue a statement denying a New York Times article in January. The article said Mr. McGahn told investigators that the president once asked him to fire Robert Mueller. McGahn never released a statement and later had to remind the president that he had indeed asked McGahn to see that Mr. Mueller was dismissed, the people said.
Yep.
In another one, Trump asked his former chief of staff, Reince Priebus, how his interview had gone with the special counsel. Well, what you guys talking about, huh? And whether they had been nice to him. Were they nice to you? Huh?
Did they bring you coffee?
Did you talk about me?
Yeah. So now the special counsel, Mueller's office, is saying this doesn't really quite rise to the level of witness tampering. No. But it's close, they said.
And Hope Hicks has apparently said that, my email was hacked.
What does that mean?
Meaning if you find anything in there that makes me look bad,
it's not me.
It's not me.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. All right, weather traffic.
Weather brought to you by Octapharma Plasma, making money by making a difference. New donors can earn up to $300 for their first 5 donations. Donate today, 5414 South, 9th East in Salt Lake. Warm and sunny, 56 for a high today. Let's see, we have a crash in Magna, northbound 84th West, 30th South. It's off to the right shoulder. Looking to see if anybody's dealing with that Westgate at Hill Air Force Base, if it's cleared up at all. Text it to me and let me know, 33986.
So wait a minute. So my email was hacked. So if you find anything bad in there, it wasn't me, Hope Hicks, which means you're going to find something bad in there. God, these people are dumb.
It's John Oliver called it. He calls it stupid Watergate. And it really is. That's the term he uses to describe this whole thing. At least Watergate was a little smart.
If you find something bad in there, it wasn't me, which means there's bad stuff in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's boner candidate number 3. Well, we got to get them gays first. This is a kind of a continuation of a boner candidate. Donna Pollard describes getting married at 16, the age of 16, to a 29-year-old man who was her counselor. And she's the person who is behind Senate Bill 48 to raise the legal age of marriage in Kentucky to 18 years old. Now, the House Republicans killed that bill Wednesday in Tennessee, the bill that would prohibit child marriages. And they cited an obscure legal theory that passing the bill could deter a conservative lawyer's case that's ongoing right now against gay marriage. It's kind of...
What does one have to do?
It's circuitous to try and explain it, really. But they said if we pass this bill, they'll probably kill his case. And we want him to go after gay marriage, the legislature of Tennessee said. So that's why we're not going to now, and I'm not going to go into the details because, as I said, it's an obscure legal thing that he's trying to argue against gay marriage in Tennessee. And they said that this child marriage thing, if they passed it, it would hinder his case. And we want him to get the gays. So we will pass it, but we got to get them gays first. Boner candidate number 3.
All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
And I would encourage you to go read the details of why.
I'm curious
because it's kind of dumb and it's never going to work. But anyway, all right. So here's boner candidate number 1. So it didn't occur to anybody that this might be offensive. Miami Catholic school students where a student wore blackface to celebrate Black History Month. He's a fourth grader. He was trying to be. They were all told, dress as a black, famous Black American that you're going to do a report on. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I could dress in a coat and a skinny tie or whatever and say I'm Barack Obama without putting on blackface.
Yeah,
that's okay. But he went all the way. Now, but nobody stopped him. Nobody used it as a teaching moment at this Catholic school, Gina, Catholic school. Nobody.
I'm the one that said teaching moment.
Nobody used it as a teaching moment to say, "Look, listen, kid, this is not the way you do it. Take the blackface off. It's offensive." That's boner candidate number 1. Boner candidate number 2 is rough and tumble, maybe stupid for sure. The rugby player who ate a slug and on a dare and is now paralyzed. And boner candidate number 3, we got to get them gays first.
All right, you got to decide which one of these 3 is the worst. Which one of these 3 candidates deserves to go forward? Which one is a contender to be boner of the day? If it wins here, it's not boner of the day. It's got to win against the winner of round 2. We do the same thing at 8:20. That's round 2. Then we put round 1 and round 2 into boner fight at 9:20. That's when boner of the day is decided. So you've got to decide which one of these 3 is the worst. 1, 2, or 3. Put the number of the candidate you think should win this round in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Voting March 8 and vote there. And you've only got, less than 300 seconds to do it. So let's go. This is round 2, Boner Voting. Sean Means reviewing movies coming up, including A Wrinkle in Time. Stand by. Vote!
Here's what Kerry Jackson is doing when he's not on the air.
Yes, Mr. Jackson, thank you for coming into my office. As the manager of this department store, it is my job to make sure that everything goes smoothly. And during the Christmas season, that's especially important. We hired you to be our store Santa on good recommendations from your radio station management. But frankly, we've had complaints from many of the parents about your performance as Santa. Now, how do you begin each visit with a child?
Well, first off, I have them shake my hand.
Shake your hand?
Yes, I'm the hand-shaking Santa.
You don't let the children sit on your lap?
No, the hand-shaking Santa wouldn't do that. And do you have any idea how germy little children are? You know what I really hate is that little kid smell. You know the smell I'm talking about.
I see. And then they tell you what they want for Christmas.
Well, after they've shaken my hand, I ask them to write an essay about how good or bad they've been during the year, and then they're asked to list what they want for Christmas. Now, that list is then submitted to one of my elves, and the essay is graded and placed in the Handshaking Santa essay box.
You have paper and pencils for them in Santa's castle?
No, the Handshaking Santa does not provide essay materials. If the children are unprepared, it's no concern of mine.
Uh-huh. Well, I think I've heard quite enough.
Oh, fine. My break is just about over, and I still have to disinfect my fingernails and put on a fresh pair of gloves before I have to greet the little vermin again. Get away from the Handshaking Santa, you dirty, dirty little children.
Oh my God. Miss Johnson, would you call the radio station we hired this Santa from? We need a replacement immediately.
Here's what Bill Allred is doing when he's not on the air.
Ho, 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 ho. Welcome to Santa's castle. Merry Christmas.
Santa, why are you lying on the floor?
I'm the leg wrestling Santa. Tell me what you want for Christmas.
Well, I want the White Power Ranger and the Nerf Ball Zuka.
All right then, Sonny. Lie down here right next to me. You do know how to leg wrestle, don't you?
Oh, yeah, Santa, but couldn't I just sit on your lap?
Oh, no, the leg wrestling Santa wouldn't do that. All right now, Sonny. If you beat me, then you'll get everything you asked for.
Okay.
If not, you'll get a lump of coal in your stocking. And an orange.
Oh.
Here we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Sorry, Sonny. You lose. get him out of here, would you, my little helpers? Ho, 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 ho. Who'll be the next to challenge the leg wrestling Santa?
Why don't you leg wrestle me, Mr. Butthead, jolly old sucky claws?
Aren't you a little old to be leg wrestling Santa?
You're pretty tough with these kids. Let's see you take on someone your own size.
All right, then. You lie down right here. Good. But first, I have to take a leak. Can't leg wrestle on a full bladder, you know. Be right back!
Allred and Gina Barberi on X96.
7:47. Time to award round one of your boner voting.
And round one of the boner voting is brought to you by...
In part
by the absently eating of freshly made croutons.
You just kind of...
mindless.
I was zoned out, and there was a big bowl of them that I had just made, and I just stood there and ate them.
I could do that.
They were good, they were kind of...
I easily could
put olive oil on them and a little garlic powder and salt, and then grill them out on the grill, and then cut them up into croutons.
I could easily do that.
Jeez, I just sat there and mowed on them.
And you've made it to Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Celebrate this evening at Gracie's with dinner and a show featuring the soulful vocal stylings of local singer-songwriter Michelle Moonshine at 7 p.m., adults only.
So we had boner candidate number one. So it didn't occur to anyone that this might not be a good idea, letting this little kid wear blackface in the school photo. He was just trying to be authentic, and some teacher should have said...
They should have said,
Son, we appreciate your effort, but...
Now, as Gina said, it would have been a teaching moment before they got dressed up. When they were told, dress up as a famous African-American, just a second, while we're on the subject.
Here's why you don't do that.
And then here's a teaching moment about the history of, the blackface and why it's insulting.
Actually,
and
I think it's even a better teaching moment that when he did it, and then to have to talk to him and talk to the other students about it.
Yeah.
I would have, preventative lesson, I think, would have been better.
But then they didn't even think about it. They took a picture of it and they posted it on the school Facebook page. Boner candidate number two, rough and tumble maybe, but stupid for sure. The rugby player who ate a slug on a dare and got a deadly parasite and is now paralyzed for life. And boner candidate number 3, we got to get them gays first. The Tennessee legislature saying now we can't pass this law outlawing child marriage because there's a little weird clause that might affect this lawsuit we have going to get rid of gay marriage in Tennessee, even though it's the law of the land.
And everything's fine.
Yeah. It'll never work, but they're just dumb. The winner of the boner T-shirt, congratulations to Nicole. It's very nice. And our militant gay audience, they rose up.
Oh, good.
And
I love our militant gays.
Yeah, they voted for boner candidate number 3. We got to get them gays first.
That is your winner of round 1. Yes, that is an achievement, but that doesn't make it boner of the day.
No.
It has to defeat the winner of round 2's boner voting. So we'll do the same thing, 3 more candidates at 8:20, and we'll take the winner of those 3, face it off against the winner of round 1. Boner fight happens at 9:20. That's when boner of the day is decided. All right. Let's see. Sean Means review. Movies sponsored today.
Yeah, sure.
Hi, Sean.
Hi. This month, check out Jim Henson's Labyrinth Coronation. Before Sarah braved the labyrinth, Jareth, the Goblin King, rose to power. Witness the exciting origin of the character immortalized by David Bowie in Jim Henson's Labyrinth Coronation.
Huh?
I think this is Dr.
It's a comic
Bolt's.
book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The comic book origins of the David Bowie character from Labyrinth.
Okay, got it. So Sean Means, here he is. He's the film critic for the Salt Lake Tribune, and you can read his reviews and other things that you can go on and hit at sltrib.com.
Yep.
Anything?
Mostly the other stuff these days.
Yeah. Is there any other articles in there today besides?
Nothing offhand, but things are in process.
All right. So let's get to the movies.
All right. Starting in the artsies, we have one that did not screen. Played at Sundance last year, actually, called Thoroughbreds.
Thoroughbreds.
2 upper crust friends reunite, played by Anya Taylor-Joy from Split. She was the heroine in Split.
Mm-hmm.
And Olivia Cook, who was in Ouija and Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. They hatch a plot that involves crime and stuff. It also involves one of the last roles of Anton Yelchin.
Yes.
Yeah. The guy, he got crushed by his own car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chekhov from
the Star Trek series. Yeah. That was not screened, so good luck with that.
All right, so Thoroughbreds not screened.
Nope.
Well, then we know that you've seen The Cured.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go there
Yeah,
next?
let's start with The Cured.
Okay.
This is sort of a post-zombie movie.
I heard about this one.
I don't know what that means.
The idea is that we are in Ireland after Europe has been facing the effects of a zombie-like epidemic,
dealing with a plague of zombies,
dealing with the plague of a virus that turned people into zombies.
Okay.
So they found a cure.
Okay.
And so everybody's been cured.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
three quarters of the ex-zombies were cured. There's
All right.
still a quarter of them that are like resilient to
It didn't take.
Yeah, so they're still trying to figure out what to do with them. But one of the side effects though is that they remember what they did when they were zombies.
This is a cool idea.
Oh, it's even better.
I like this.
Yeah.
So you have.
You remember eating brains?
You remember.
Eating...
You remember killing people and infecting people and so on.
So then you get into the whole discriminatory aspect of society. Yes,
Right.
you're cured, but ooh.
Eat one foot and they call you a zombie?
But is society going to accept you back in?
Exactly.
This is a really cool idea for a movie.
So this is
So somebody did it.
It's almost like 28 months later.
Yeah.
If they'd ever made that movie.
Yeah, think about it.
And so you have this one guy who is reunited with his sister-in-law, whose husband was killed by the zombies.
Yeah.
So there's some tension there. The sister-in-law is played by
Well,
Ellen Page, and she's sort of the one actor you would actually recognize in this movie.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty solid thriller, zombie
I wanna
thriller,
see this.
and it's also got some very thoughtful stuff about minority rights and mob influence. 3 stars.
Where is that playing?
That's at the Tower.
All right, so The Cured, 3 stars. That sounds good. Then we still have more. Before We Vanish.
Before We Vanish. This is a alien invasion movie from Japan.
Ooh.
And this is the classic. What is this Earth thing called kissing sort of story, taken to extremes.
All right.
3 aliens land. They take over human bodies. One of them takes over the body of a businessman who is who has to be taken in by his somewhat estranged wife, ex-wife. And the aliens are preparing for a major invasion, and the way they're doing this is they come down and they have to learn about various concepts of human behavior. And the way they learn is that they meet a person and say, okay, think about family, or think about about work or whatever. And then when they think about it, they touch them on the forehead, and boom, the alien suddenly understands it all, but the human no longer has any of it.
Well, that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's what we call love.
Yes.
Right, like that. So this is a very this is also very thoughtful, but also very creepy.
Yeah.
Sci-fi to make you think about stuff. Type of movie.
And what you gotta think?
Well, it's worse. It's in Japanese, so you got to read.
Oh. I don't know.
So 3 stars for that one.
3. Well, you got 3.5 here, but I'll just give you 3.
Sorry, it is 3. Yeah.
3 stars for. Before We Vanish. The next one, a fantastic woman.
A fantastic woman.
We'll get to that coming up in just a moment. Stand by. We got more.
About that one.
We got more coming up, including A Wrinkle in Time and Gringo. Did you see Gringo?
Yep.
All right, we'll get to that one coming up as well.
Friend of the program says the West Gate for Hill Air Force Base is still congested, but the Roy Gate is fairly clear. Thank you for letting us know that. Crash northbound I-15 98th south. And let's see, crash northbound 8400 west 30th south. That's out in Magna. And yeah, looks like there's that pretty significant slowage northbound I-15 going through Draper and Sandy. That's traffic.
Right, we'll continue with the movie reviews after these and round 2 of your boner voting. Stand by.
On the most current episode of the Let's Go Eat Show, I talked to Lee George Cade. He's a member of the GeekShowPodcast.com panel. He's a vegan jerky impresario, and he's been lurking around in my life for over 20 years. Lee George Cade on this episode of the Let's Go Eat Show, the letsgoeatshow.com.
Complete sports and traffic with Gina Barberi on X96.
All right. 8:03. We will continue with the movie reviews. Are they sponsored, Gina?
Nope.
All right.
So Sean Means is here. He's seen some more movies, movie shows that he wants to review for you, and we're happy to have him do it here at X96. And you can also, incidentally, find them at sltrib.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, so we're still deep in the artsies.
One last artsy.
A Fantastic
A
Woman.
Fantastic Woman. This was the Oscar-winning foreign language film.
Oh, this is? Okay.
This historic from Chile, and also historic at the Oscars because the star of the movie, Danielle Vega, the title character.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
Played the title character. Presented at the Oscars. She introduced the Coco song. And she was the first transgender actress to ever present at the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
She was lovely.
She was
I
amazing.
Is this? I hope this doesn't sound insulting.
It will, but
Yeah,
go ahead. Go for it.
We had the sound off
Uh-huh.
when she came on. Maybe this is a compliment. I don't know. When she came on, and I said, "Who's that? She's beautiful." And then later found. Yeah, that sounded horrible.
Yes, it did.
My point is, it was not obviously a transgender person. Just looked like a beautiful woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is
I meant it as a compliment. I'm sorry.
This is a story.
Would you please? I'm sorry you took up airtime doing that. Why didn't you apologize to her?
So there's a movie about a transgender
yes,
person?
she plays Marina, who is a singer and waitress who has a much older boyfriend. And they have a very loving relationship, and they're about to go on a trip for her birthday. But then he gets sick, and she gets him to the hospital, and he dies. Sadly, because he's old. He's an older dude. He's sort of a sugar daddy. And when that happens, her life gets upended in a lot of different ways. First off, the cops get suspicious.
Because all right.
And the cops will refer to her as Daniel because that's what it says on her driver's license.
Oh,
because
boy.
It's Chile, and they're not very enlightened on that sort of thing. And they give her, when they take her in for interrogation, they give her a physical exam, which is really nasty.
Yeah.
Well, there's that. Okay, then now the boyfriend's ex-wife tells her, "Don't come to the funeral."
Yeah.
And the boyfriend's their adult kids say, "We're taking back the apartment."
Well, this is heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
And what's beautiful about it is that it is heartbreaking, but it is watching her being resilient and maintaining her dignity through all these struggles.
In the face of it.
And the filmmaker Sebastian Lelio took Daniela Vega's personal experiences and incorporated them into the story. And like the merger of character and real person is so seamless and lovely here.
So so did a lot of this actually happen to her?
It is inspired by moments of her life as well. So I mean, not necessarily the details of like had a boyfriend who died, but certainly the indignities that she has suffered are felt. And it is such a beautiful movie. And Daniela Vega is fantastic. Amazing performance. I wish she had been nominated for Best Actress.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
You didn't have anything to apologize for there.
Not at all.
No, okay.
She is amazing. Full stop.
All right.
So you gave 3.5.
3.5.
All right, for A Fantastic Woman.
Yep.
Fartsies.
Got a couple that did not screen.
That's the Broadway, by the way, isn't it?
Fantastic Woman will be at the Broadway.
Yes. So the first one, The Strangers Pray at Night.
Yes, this is a sequel to The Strangers, which is a really icky home invasion horror movie.
That's right.
Oh, yeah,
The new one has Christina Hendricks as the mom.
Oh.
So things aren't going so well after Mad Men, is what I think.
All right.
The second one, The Hurricane Heist.
Hurricane Heist.
It's about a heist during a hurricane.
Okay.
Nobody will think to. All right.
Yeah. Directed by Rob Cohen, who did the original Fast and Furious.
Okay.
Got a trying to see who's in the cast here. Toby Kebbell, Maggie Grace. Nobody. Yeah, you don't care.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Okay. Moving on. Gringo.
Gringo, you did see.
Gringo,
All
I did see. That was last night.
All right.
This is one of those sort of wind it up and watch it go kind of comedy thrillers where they set up this like situation and then in the last 20 minutes it all sort of spins out like a mousetrap game. They can be. This one took forever to get set up and then wasn't worth the payoff. You have a middle manager at a U.S. pharmaceutical company played by David Oyelowo, who played Martin Luther King in Selma.
Oh, Yellow O.
Oh, Yellow O. Just yellow with an O at both ends.
Oh, Yellow O.
Yeah.
Okay.
There.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a little trick I learned.
I know.
So he's got it rough all around. His boss, who he thinks is his best friend, is screwing him over, both by setting up a merger that's going to leave him without a job, also having sex with his wife.
Whoa!
The boss is played by Joel Edgerton. The wife is Tandy Newton, who we like. The boss is also having sex with the co-president, the other boss of the company, played by Charlize Theron.
It's a lot of sleeping around.
A lot of sleeping around, a lot of cheating around.
This guy must be good.
Yeah, and they also are the two of them, Theron and Edgerton, are also working in an illegal deal with their company's manufacturer down in Mexico to give supplies of their new stuff to a Mexican crime lord, drug lord, that the Oyelowo character doesn't know is going on, and he's the one who's supposed to be sort of monitoring all that. When the corporate types decide to cut off the drug lord, well, the drug lord doesn't like that, and so he starts cutting off other things like fingers and toes.
All right,
and wants to kidnap Oyelowo. So, yeah. First off, you've got executives at a U.S. Pharmaceutical company and a Mexican drug cartel, because the most important thing to have in a movie is somebody to root for.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know who to.
Yeah.
So there is a series, I think it was either on Netflix or Amazon, called Ozark with
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman. It's this movie.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Okay.
Ozark
this is not
great.
that.
Ozark is
This is
great.
not that. And I think it's directed by Nash Edgerton, who is Joel Edgerton's brother, and can do good stuff. But just here it is just way too boring for not good enough a payoff.
So
2 stars.
2 stars
Yep.
for Gringo. Well, then let's get to A Wrinkle in Time, the one that
Yes.
everyone has been anticipating.
This is Ava DuVernay directing the adaptation of the famous Madeleine L'Engle science fiction young adult before they had a name for that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard Oprah was in this.
Oprah's in this too.
Okay.
Yes. The story is centered around a 13-year-old girl whose father.
That's Oprah, right?
No, that is a girl named Storm Reed, and you wish you had a name that good.
I do.
That's radio DJs would kill for names like that.
Yeah.
So she plays Meg, and Meg, her father disappeared 4 years earlier, a scientist played by Chris Pine.
Chris Pine.
I'm going.
And
even though Oprah's in it.
He disappeared while trying to test his theories about traveling across the space-time continuum in a blink. And things like that.
Is he a scientist?
He is a scientist.
Okay.
Yes. And his wife, the mom, played by Gugu Mbatha Raw, is also a scientist. And she's had to sort of stay behind and
not science.
Mourn.
So this is the girl trying to find her father.
The girl trying to find her father, along with their with a precociously genius little brother, and a neighbor boy who's very cute. The three of them, helped along by 3 mysterious beings, Mrs. Whatsit, Mrs. Who, and Mrs. Which.
I kind of like
which
that.
are played by in order Reese Witherspoon, Mindy Kaling, and Oprah.
Okay.
And they come very mysteriously and say, we've heard a distress signal. We think it's from your father. You've got to come with us.
Where are they from?
They are
from.
a mystical land called Uriel.
Okay.
And that's where they go, and it's all very cool.
Right.
And
it's like parallel universe.
Yeah.
And,
looks like New Zealand with a green screen.
Yeah,
I was trying to. My wife said she read the book when she was a young adult and didn't care for it much. I mean, said it was kind of obvious and But she said the movie looks intriguing.
The movie, okay. Here's the thing: the movie is visually amazing. There's some visual splendor in here, and this girl Storm Reed is wonderful.
Yeah.
Tonally and plot wise, this movie is a mess.
Really?
And part of it is when you develop when you deal with a book like this that has a lot of stuff in it and is so beloved, the temptation to try to cram everything in sometimes gets to be a little much. There are scenes that go nowhere. Sometimes there's some odd stuff. It is very much like Narnia or Oz or Wonderland. You have this journey through this strange land and run into weird people like Zach Galifianakis and Michael Pena. it doesn't all work, but where it does work, it's glorious. So
Oh.
it's still worth a shot.
Because my kids want to go see it.
Yeah,
so.
take the kids.
Okay.
Plus, in all this, there's such a great message about light overcoming the darkness. Quite
nice.
literally.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
And also, if you're into the representation matters thing, the fact that Storm Reed is a black girl, and that is unremarked upon. It's just she's that's who she is. That's what it is. We're off.
You just remarked on it.
I'm saying the movie does not.
All
It'll,
right. So
leaving it to jerks like me to do that.
I understand.
So you're giving it a good rating.
3 stars.
3 stars for A Wrinkle in Time. All right, let's run these down. Thoroughbreds, not screened. The Cured, which sounds really cool. 3 stars. Before We Vanish, 3 stars. A Fantastic Woman, 3.5 stars.
Jeez.
Strangers Pray at Night and The Hurricane Heist, not screened. Gringo, 2 stars, and A Wrinkle in Time, 3 stars.
Yep.
What's next week?
Next week we got Tomb Raider.
Yay!
Bringing Alicia Vikander into
as
Lara Croft. We also have 7 Days in Entebbe, which is a thriller about the famous kidnapping,
the raid
in Uganda, and Love, Simon, which is the new generation high school gay romance.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And Wrinkle in Time. This is an opportunity, Gina, for you to introduce your kids to Oprah.
Oh, Bill, they know Oprah.
Oh, they already know Oprah.
Oh, sure.
Oprah is a second mother to them, or Gina is.
Thank you, Sean.
Crash northbound I-15 approaching 90th South and Sandy. The cars are moved to the left shoulder, adding to the delays, which are back to Bluffdale. So that's northbound. There's also an issue southbound I-15, about the same area, the 90th South off-ramp, milepost 296. So that whole area going both directions on I-15 is seeing some trouble. Bad Apple not only offers premium original equipment and parts to repair your phone, while most competitors use cheaper aftermarket parts that don't work properly. 10 locations. Go to badapplerepair.com.
All right, so round 2.
Yes. Here's boner candidate number 1. This is a fill-in-the-blank boner candidate, okay?
Okay.
Man drives blank car to court to face stolen car charge. So fill in the blank on that one, okay? Boner candidate number 2, adults make the laws, and that's probably the problem. And boner candidate number 3, you do the butt grabbing over the clothes, and you're okay.
All right, so round 2 of your boner voting coming up, along with big boy news and opinioendo after these. First, got to tell you about Valley Office Systems.
Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Valley Office Systems, but you need to remember valleyofficesystems.com. That is their website, and that is where you can go right now to get a 60-day free service by signing up for an in-office consultation. They'll come out and they'll say, here's what Valley Office Systems can do for you. And for 60 days, they'll give you that service. Now, what it's done for us, we had this printer that was a piece of junk that would break. You'd had to pull the tray out,
Is that
then
the
you'd
one
put
on
it
the
back
floor
in.
back there?
Yeah, it's the one that we're deciding what we're going to do with it as far as...
Have John take it to the target range.
But, you pull the tray out, you put the thing back in. It's a paper jam somewhere else in the middle. You're following the diagram, and not only does that decrease the productivity that you can have in the office, it was really frustrating. And it got to the point where I said, you know what, can we please, for my sanity, do something? And that's when the folks here at Broadway Media and X96, they said, you know what, we know Valley Office Systems can help us out, so why don't we give them a call? And we did, and now they're working with us.
Yay.
So you can do as we have done, valleyofficesystems.com. Again, that's 60-day free service by signing up for your no-obligation in-office consultation. Go to valleyofficesystems.com.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
Hello, X96. Oh, hello, Bert.
Bert, calm down, okay? Look, hang on a sec, okay? We'll talk to you on the speakerphone. Hang on just a second. Bill, it's Bert.
Oh, man. Bert, again? That's the third time this week.
Come on now. The guy's going through some real tough stuff right now. We may be the only friends he has left.
Well, why can't he call and cry to Dom?
Dom DeLuise has deserted him, too. I mean, look, let's talk to him. I mean, he's really hurting.
Oh, all right. Put him on the speakerphone. Okay. Hi, Bert. It's Carrie and Bill.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Bet you're real excited about that Cop and a Half movie finally coming out, Bert.
Bill, Cop and a Half has been out for a year, and it was a stiff. Bert, I saw that movie. It was great. I bought my own copy. You were great. That kid sucked.
Yeah, sorry, Bert.
Thank you.
Well, hey, how's Lonnie doing?
Bill, Lonnie dumped him some time ago. Don't listen to him. She's a lying bitch, Bert. You're better off without her. And she looks like hell. Yeah, she looks like a mortician does her makeup.
Yeah, she looks awful, Bert. Not like you. You look great these days.
Yeah.
Saw you on Evening Shade the other night, Bert. Hey, you doing something different to your hair?
Jeez, his hair fell out years ago. Nobody can tell, Bert. It looks great. Very natural.
Oh, yeah, it's very nice. You must be paying big money for those rugs.
Oh, listen, Bert, I'm real sorry. I mean, you call us up so that we can cheer you up, and, well, I just don't think we're doing a very good job.
No.
Bert, is there another old friend that you can call?
I know, Bert. You ought to call Dinah. What's Dinah Shore doing?
Way to go, Einstein. Dinah Shore has been dead for months.
Oh. Well, how about we have him call Sally Field? Is she still alive?
You idiot.
Gary, Bill, and Gina on X96.
All right, 8:22 right now. And it is time for round 2 of your boner voting. I'm going to give you 3 news stories here that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. Boner is an old term that means mistake.
Yeah.
So you'll have to decide, of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst and therefore the most deserving to go forward to get a 50-50 chance of becoming Boner of the Day. If it wins here, it's not Boner of the Day. It still has to face the winner of round 1. Boner fight happens at 9:20. That's when Boner of the Day is decided. So you've got to pick which one is a contender. 1, 2, or 3 here in round 2. 2 candidates now. 3rd candidate after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. You'll decide. One of you lucky random Boner voters will receive.
You ever have those days when you can't stretch enough?
Yeah.
Every day.
Bill, rather than a hearty handshake today, would you just tell me stretch? If I call and vote and I'm selected, will you?
You mean like say, here, I'll crack your back for
Yeah,
you?
like
kind of
that.
thing? No.
No?
I won't do
Okay.
that,
Hearty handshake then.
Yeah, it's a hearty handshake.
Okay.
I'm not cracking anybody's back. There are too many liabilities with that.
I like that in baskets when he called Linda. Is it Linda? Is Linda the goat? Come walk on my back.
All right, here we go. Boner candidate number 1, which is right here in front of me. It's man drives, this is a fill in the blank one. Man drives blank car to court to face stolen car charge. What do you think it might be in the blank?
Stolen.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Police say that it's pretty obvious.
You made it too easy.
I guess. Police say that a man answering to a stolen car charge drove a stolen car to court in Connecticut. Authorities say 25-year-old Jonathan Rivera, what a boner, was at the Hartford Superior Court Wednesday to appear before a judge on a charge of first-degree felony larceny and tampering with a motor vehicle. Parking authority agents scanning license plates outside the courthouse found a car that had been reported stolen. Police kept an eye on that car, and they arrested Mr. Rivera when he left the courtroom and went to get in the stolen car. Mr. Rivera has been charged with second-degree felony larceny and taking a motor vehicle without the owner's permission. I think it's almost he has a problem. It's not just.
Yeah.
I mean, he just has to steal cars.
You're giving him a break.
Could be.
Man drives a stolen car to court to face stolen car charge. Number 1. Voter candidate number 2. Yeah, adults do make the laws, and maybe that's the problem.
Yes.
Students.
I'm glad you found this one, by the way.
Yeah, I found it on Huffington Post.
I read that, and I just went, oh, you're just so tone deaf.
Students on the from the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School have earned admiration from people across the country as they've stepped up to advocate for gun policy reform in the wake of the mass shooting at their school. But at least one Florida lawmaker isn't inspired by their pleas for change. State Representative Elizabeth Porter criticized her colleagues who support the young activists. We've been told that we need to listen to the children and do what the children asked, she said during a state house debate. Are there any children on this floor? Are there any children making laws?
You're their representative. See, this is how it works.
Do we allow children to tell us that we should pass a law that says no homework? Or you finish high school, or you finish high school at the age of 12 just because you want to? No, she said.
We're asking not to be killed.
The adults make the laws.
I'm sorry. Oh, what a bitch.
Yeah, she's horrible.
The adults make the laws because we have the age, we have the wisdom, and we have the experience.
Age, wisdom, and experience translated to wrong side of history. You're seeing an entire generation going against the Republican Party. And I would just say, looking at history, I usually listen to the young people because they're usually right.
Let me just read this. I've had this for a few days. It was in the New York Times. It was an editorial.
What's that you have in your hand?
It's
What
a
is
newspaper.
That?
They still make those?
I like newspapers. I'm sorry, I do.
Oh, I'd prefer them.
Yeah. So here it's the title of it is "Go Ahead, Millennials, Destroy Us." And this guy Tim Kreider, he starts out by saying he really hates millennials. They're this and they're that and they're this and that. But wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
But then he says, I'm creeped out by the increasing dogmatism and intolerance of millennials on the left. When I was young, the natural order of things was that conservatives were the prudes and the scolds who wanted books banned and exhibitions closed, while we liberals got to be the gadflies and the iconoclasts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then he goes on to say, ever since Columbine, almost 20 years ago, I've absorbed the news of more mass shootings than I can count, with a ulcerating rage that gradually scabbed over into deadened cynicism. To those of us who have lived with certain grim realities our whole adult lives, these are facts that just are as inescapable as death itself. I've come to this conclusion that America is a doomed nation. We spend $60 billion a year on our pets, but we won't go to any inconvenience to keep second graders from getting slaughtered. Despite all of our competitive parenting and mommy machismo and trophy kids, we don't really give a damn about our kids. By which I mean about one another's kids. When a race stops caring for its young, its extinction is not only imminent, but well-deserved. Pretty good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe my bitter complacence about our civilization's decline is just a projection of my feelings about my own. Powers like money, imagery, entirely dependent on faith, and cynicism is also a kind of faith. He goes on to say, once people, then he talks about Harvey Weinstein. I'm sorry. He talks about Harvey Weinstein. Ultimately, he wasn't the one enforcing the code of silence around his predators. It was all the agents and the managers. And he ties this all together, believe it or not. It was all the agents and the managers and the friends and the colleagues who warned actresses that he was too powerful to accuse of anything. Once people stopped believing in his invulnerability, his destruction was as instantaneous as that middle school queen being made a pariah. Watch, as soon as the first NRA A-rated congressman loses an election, other politicians' deeply held convictions about the Second Amendment rights will rapidly start evolving.
Yep.
But it's got to happen. And then he goes on to say, it's the kids like these kids in Florida who are, and he said, I've become so cynical, but these guys have given me a little bit of
they've given
faith
me
and
hope.
hope.
They've given me hope for the future generation.
They need our support. They
Yes.
need not our dismissal.
Adults make the laws, and that's perhaps the problem. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on that.
No, I'm glad you did.
It's fine.
Here's boner candidate number 3 coming up in a second. Listen, you do the butt grabbing over the clothes and you're okay.
All right. Boner candidate.
That's really a good one. It'll cheer you up.
Boner candidate number 3 for round 2. Coming up after this, big boy news and opinioendo. Brought to you by.
How do my lashes look?
They look great.
They look luscious.
Well, that's you guys are in the studio, but for other people, you should go to x96.com/live for the amazing Lash Studio Lash Cam. There it is, right there. That's bringing you the news.
That's kind of good news in a lot of respects.
What's that?
Cafe Molise.
It's right over here.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not anymore.
No, it's over
gonna
there?
Be, yeah, no. So first of all, it's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
we used to go there all the time when the station was right around the corner.
Yeah, it was fun, really fun in the summer to sit out on the little patio there and have Italian food. So Cafe Molise and the BTG Wine Bar, that's By the Glass,
Yes.
By the Glass Wine Bar.
Yes.
They're moving right over there to the Old Bay. That's what's going on.
That's
over
where they're
there.
going?
Yeah.
Which seems, I hope it says in the story, that's a huge building.
It's a big building.
It is big. First they took the swimming pool out.
Oh.
There was.
You don't need a swimming pool.
No.
Well, see, I drive by it every day, and I know they've been working on stuff there every day.
The owners are leaving their space near the Salt Palace Convention Center to make way for a possible development that also could encompass the now vacant building that housed Naked Fish and later Akagaki. I felt pressure to relocate, said the owner of Cafe Molise. He and co-owner Amy Sterling wanted to remain downtown. They were thrilled to find it's actually called the Eagle Building.
It's a cool old building.
And if you look on the front, there is a big eagle over the door. We've always called it the Bay because we used to do stuff there.
Yeah.
The restaurant and the bar will go there, and it is a big building, but they will also use it for other things. They're renovating it.
Oh, I see.
It'll be all redone. It's a great building.
It is. It's always been a great space.
I'm happy when people are taking on projects like that to save rather than knock it down.
Yeah.
Renovate it and save it.
That building was originally built in 1915, and it was for the Fraternal Order of Eagles.
Oh.
The historic building has opened and closed numerous times in the past century. It sat vacant for a long time in the 40s. It served as a home to Equitable Life Insurance Company in the 50s, the Bay in the 90s, and it is really a great building. So, I just saw that play in there. What was last winter, Sonder, which was really cool. Terry Crews' sexual assault case against an agent, it now been just totally dismissed. Nope, sorry, Terry. He was filed a civil suit. He claimed that the guy had groped him, and they said there's not enough evidence. Your case is dismissed. A family in Colorado has proved why it's always probably important to look at the expiration dates before buying groceries.
Oh, I do.
After getting home from a Walmart on Monday, the Carlyles of Lakewood, Colorado, realized that they had purchased a box of Quaker 100% natural granola cereal that was 21 years old.
It was breakfast cereal day yesterday.
Only problem was they didn't notice it until after they started eating it. I had 2 bites of it, and I went, something's up with this, said Andrea Carlisle. Her husband, Josiah, though, probably the way I would have done it, just scarfed down a whole bowl. I started eating and thinking, it tastes funny, but it must be okay. Then he said, then he decided to eat the whole thing. His wife said, stop, and he said, no, I'm just going to eat it, and he did. Then they started looking at the expiration date, which was dated February 22nd, 1997. Now, it didn't cause him any problems.
Where has that hasn't been on that same shelf since then.
It's
been moved around.
No, that says to me that Walmart dusts off their products, because we've been in convenience stores where you find a can or something that's just got a layer of dust on top of it.
Yeah, it does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but it didn't hurt him really, but it was just like, that's old and not good. Let's see, what story here do I want to do? This was just interesting in passing. Keith Ellison. He is a representative from Minnesota, Democrat. He is the deputy chairman of the Democratic National Committee, and he became sort of officially the lead proponent now in the legislature in Washington of single-payer health care.
Yes. Yay.
Ellison's House colleagues gave their unanimous consent for him to replace Representative Conyers as chief sponsor of House Resolution 676, the Expanded Improved Medicare for All Act. Now, Conyers is retiring. There's a cloud of sexual misconduct around Conyers. Ellison, so there are people in the legislature in Washington, D.C., who are pushing for single-payer health care. Medicare for all is essentially what it is. And they introduce these bills, and they get shot down, but they bring them back, and they bring it back. Keith Ellison is the point guy on it now. Go, Keith.
Yay!
Maybe we'll have single-payer health care in our lifetimes.
Hopefully, eventually.
Maybe.
All right. Sports, weather, traffic.
I want to remind you about Real Salt Lake. They've got their first home game this weekend. It's 1:30 Saturday against LAFC. Kickoff 1:30. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. And you can get tickets at rsl.com, or you can go to x96.com to enter to win the RSL opening game prize pack. It includes 4 tickets to the game, dinner to the Interform Club, pregame field passes, jerseys, scarves, and access to the postgame autograph session. You enter to win that at x96.com. Weather, it's warm and getting warmer. Partly cloudy, 56 for a high. Traffic, we still have that slowage. It's both northbound and southbound I-15 through Draper, about 90th south. There were 2 separate incidents going either direction there that have caused traffic trouble there. That's about it, though. Things seem to be moving pretty slowly everywhere else. Haster Games has the best selection of the latest board games. Magic the Gathering, Dungeons & Dragons, and more. It's a great place to stay and play. Remember, Haster has it 6831 South State and online at hastergames.com.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Listen, you do the butt grabbing over the clothes, and you're okay. Grabbing someone's buttocks over the clothes is not against the law in Minnesota. There's actually a specific exception that excludes, quote, the intentional touching of the clothing covering the immediate area of the buttocks from the state's sexual conduct statutes.
They actually spent time writing that and passing it.
Well, what about some dusty old, crusty old guy in the Minnesota legislature said, "Oh, come on now. What if I want to give somebody a friendly pat on the butt?
I don't mean nothing
come
by
on.
that."
Okay.
How about you don't?
On Wednesday, a state Senate committee unanimously approved getting rid of that exception, which would make grabbing the buttocks in an aggressive or sexual manner an offense of fifth-degree criminal sexual conduct.
Yes.
That's the same level offense for groping somebody, their private parts in other ways. Former U.S. Senator Al Franken resigned in January amid allegations from multiple women of sexually inappropriate behavior, including several women who said he grabbed their buttocks over their clothing. State Senator Dan Shuren, a Cottage Grove police officer, resigned from his post last year after allegations that he grabbed the buttocks of a female. So maybe it's a tradition in Minnesota, and that's why Al got into trouble. But they're saying, okay, it's not okay now. But was it ever okay?
No.
I've told the story when I did it to someone that I liked, and she turned around and said to me, and it was a lesson, I love you, but if you ever do that to me again. That's boner candidate number 3, but you do the butt grabbing over the clothes and you're okay.
All right, so let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, man drives blank car to court to face stolen car charge. Of course, it's stolen car. Boner candidate number 2, adults make the laws, and maybe that's the problem. This just absolutely tone-deaf, clueless female legislator in Florida who said, we're the adults and we make the laws here. The children don't make the laws. By the way, I think Florida did pass a gun control law.
They had a couple, yeah.
They just like yesterday.
21 and a 3-day waiting.
Is that what it was? Something like I just saw
heard a
the
list of them.
Saw the headline. So they did do something.
They did make some progress, yes.
And then boner candidate number 3, you do the butt grabbing over the clothes and you're okay.
All right. Time to vote for round 2. You've got to decide which one of these 3 candidates is the worst and therefore most qualified to go forward to Boner Dome or Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day. If it wins here, it's got a 50-50 chance, goes up against the winner of round 1. We'll throw them both in Boner Dome at 9:20. That's when Boner of the Day will be decided. So you've got to pick 1, 2, or 3 candidate that you think should win. Put that candidate number in the message of a text. That's all we need in the message. 1, 2, or 3. Text that to 33986. Easy. Most people vote that way. Others, they call 877-602-9696. Or they go to x96.com and vote online. Look for the box that says Boner Voting March 8 and vote there. You've got less than 300 seconds, though, so let's go. This is round 2.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of 2 such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! In this episode, we find our elders rendezvousing with Zone Leader Hansen on some distant planet in the BFE sector. Hey, Butch, what you got there?
Oh, it's a care package for my folks. You know, my mom means well, but she just doesn't understand the physics involved in sending stuff from home.
Well, what you mean?
Well, the cookies she sent are fine. They're hard as a rock, just the way I remember them. It's the lime jello with shredded carrots in it that causes problems. You know, even in Tupperware, this stuff goes bad after a week in hyperspace. Missionaries who have eaten this stuff have been known to develop a form of space madness.
Wow. Oh, look, here comes Zone Leader Hansen right now.
I have discovered the most incredible object. It allows us to view any period in the history of any planet. We can research early church history. This discovery will allow me to get reassigned back to Earth and leave you 2 losers far behind.
Right. Glad to hear it. What's that have to do with us?
Since you weren't having much luck in the field, I figured that you wouldn't mind watching my discovery while I go back to Starbase 182 and file my report. Hey, are you eating while I'm talking to you? Give me that.
Sorry.
Say, green jello with carrot shavings. I haven't had this since I left home.
But sir, I think you ought to know that...
Quietly, Hi, he's eating.
Shut up, the both of you right now. This jello tastes funny. Ah!
He's gone mad. He's got space madness. We better go after him.
Okay. Hey, what's that thing right there?
You mean that natural arch that seems to be showing the History Channel?
Yeah, that thing. What is it?
I believe that who is it would be a more appropriate question.
Is that you that said that, Butch?
No. It must have been the natural arch over there. Okay, I'll play. Who are you, and what have you done with Zone Leader Hansen?
I am the guardian of forever. Hansen has entered through me into your world's past.
Entered through you?
Well, I guess we can get back to tracking now, huh, Lehigh?
No, we most certainly can't. Huh? We need to get Zone Leader Hansen back and cure his Jello-induced space madness.
Come on now, Lehigh. He was a little weird before my mom's Jello. Are we sure he's sick?
Where in our world's history is Hansen now, Guardian?
He was asking questions about Mormon history and about lime jello in particular. He entered as I was showing him the Relief Society meeting where sisters first began to experiment with lime jello.
Well, if he disturbs that meeting, the timeline of church history could be permanently changed. Let's go, Butch. Whoa! Will Zone Leader Hansen change church history? Can Butch and Lehigh get him to go before he does? Will the Relief Society let Hansen anywhere near their test kitchen? Tune in next time to hear Relief Society President Mulestein say...
I'm at a loss, sisters. We've tried shredded beets, cauliflower, radishes, eggplant, zucchini, and rutabaga. Nothing seems to go with this new lime jello stuff.
Excuse me, sister. I think we can help.
I don't think we should go against the Prime Directive, Bush.
How did you get in here? One wrong move and you'll see the business end of my skillet. Just like the last kid who wandered in here and tried to tell us how to conduct our business.
Other kid? Oh, hey, it's Zone Leader Hansen. She's knocked him out cold.
Nice going, ma'am. Wish I'd have been here to see it. Tell you what, we'll get him out of your way and you can go back to doing what you were doing. Oh, yeah, and you might want to try shredded carrots.
I warned you about meddling.
She's got a skillet.
Run for it.
Run! On the next liposuctioning episode of Space Elders!
And Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, 8:46. Time to award round 2 of your boner voting.
And round 2 of the boner voting is brought to you by...
In part
by Gina wants somebody to crack her back.
Oh.
And stop buying disposable office printers off the shelf at that big box store. Get the highest quality commercial-grade printers from Valley Office Systems for a whole lot less than you would expect. ValleyOfficeSystems.com.
Boner Candidate 1, man drives blank car to court on stolen car. It's the stolen car. So he drove a stolen car to a stolen car charge at court. Boner Candidate number 2, adults make the laws, and that's perhaps the problem. That's just an awful legislator in Florida, a woman who said, we're the adults here. We make the laws. Kids don't make the laws. Why are we listening to these kids?
Those kids are pretty damn close to voting age.
There's this one. I just saw her on Twitter. I can't think of her name now. She's blonde and wears glasses. And she was holding up a sign, a note. So these kids who became the kind of media,
Mm-hmm.
they weren't really big active on social media, and they started tweeting a little bit, and now 4 or 5 of them have over like 1 million followers.
I'm following them.
Yeah. And she gets some really nasty things said about her, and she was holding up a sign or a note that had been written to her that was just vile, but she was smiling. She thought it was, yeah. And then boner candidate number 3, you do the butt grabbing over the clothes, you're going to be okay. Let's see. Brian won a Gracie's gift card. That was nice. And just walking away with it, boner candidate number 2, we're the adults, we make the laws, and that's maybe the problem.
All right, there you go. That is your winner of round 2. It is now a contender for boner of the day. It'll go up against the winner of round 1. We'll throw them into Boner Dome for a boner fight. That happens at 9:20. That's when boner of the day is decided. All right.
So I went up to the Smiths yesterday.
The Stabby Smiths?
No, I went up to the Avenue Smiths because there's a liquor store downstairs. You know. And
It's convenient.
Yeah, I ran into your husband there one time, as a matter of fact.
Wasn't that nice?
It was. It was pleasant. I like running into him,
I
which
do too.
I don't do very often. But so I don't know how long they've had this. Now you know I am not a fan of the self checkout. I know Carrie, you like it.
I like it. Yeah.
Because Carrie likes to get in and get out and not talk to people.
Well, I use it when I can. My new Harmon's does not have a self-checkout, but they're so friendly there and nice that it's fine.
Well, if you would really like this. So I'm walking by. I get my little cart, and I always get the little ones because I don't buy that much stuff usually. And I'm walking in the store, and I see this big bank of what look like television remotes, and they're all in a, and there's a video there, and it says, scan, bag, and go. Scan, bag, and go. Huh, I wonder what that. So I stopped to watch the video, and what it is, you have you bring in your own grocery bags, or they have a bunch of bags right there that I think you buy.
Okay.
That say scan, grab, and go on them.
All right.
But I already had my bags. So what it is you take one of these television remote things, it looks like, and you walk around the store with it.
It's a price wand.
Yeah, you walk around the store. First of all, you put in your, like I have a Smith's card code, which is my phone number.
Yeah.
And I enter that, and boom, there I am. It shows me how many fuel points I have and so forth at the top of the screen. Right. And then it says, so go around and just use this to scan the items you're buying and put them in your grocery bag.
As you go.
As you go. Which I did.
Okay.
And it worked flawlessly. It was beautiful. I bought 1 lemon. There was a code on, a sticker on the lemon. Boom, boop, 1 lemon, 89 cents or whatever it was. Shows it right there. And it keeps a running total of how much money you are spending as well. That's 89 cents. Then the next item it adds on, and it says to you, if there's not a barcode, you'll find it in produce. Not everything in produce has a barcode on it, but there's a barcode on the description of the item. Rhubarb. There's no sticker on the rhubarb, but where it says rhubarb, there's a barcode there. Scan that, and it'll put it. It's work, and it makes a little noise that's kind of pleasing when you do it. And I'm walking around the store, and I'm getting the items in, but I kind of don't know what to do with this thing because you need both hands sometimes, to push the cart. So like I'm putting it like on the edge of my grocery basket, and it was kind of a hassle. I think I put it in my pocket. No, because it'll push the buttons,
Yeah, are people going to walk off with it?
Yeah, that was a little bit of a hassle. But I thought, because I didn't know what to do with it, so I would just sort of sit it in the cart as I got something off the shelf. But anyway, what you do then, after you've gotten all your items, you go to the self-checkout.
Okay.
And there is now a barcode on the self-checkout thing that says scan, grab, and go. You scan that. It takes a second for it to do it. Up come all the items that you have purchased, lists them on the screen, the prices of them, what you owe, and then it says, please scan your card. So you don't have to do that thing where you have to put the bag over there and everything. It's all still in your cart.
Seems like extra work.
No. It's way less work. Way less work.
I
it's
like
great.
just pushing the cart up to the lady. And
Yeah.
The lady.
No, wait. So here's what happens, though. It's faster. And here's the dumb thing. So I did this, and and then all you have to do is swipe your card, and you're done, and you can go out without having any interaction with anything or anybody, and it's faster and easier than just doing the self-checkout, Carrie, where you have to take everything out of your card and put it on the thing, scan it there, and then put it in the bag. No, it's already in the bag. But so as I'm leaving, I talked to one of the people working there, who, by the way, I said, I kind of hate doing these things because
putting you out of a job.
Puts me, and they said, really, it has checkers really hasn't put people out of work. So checkers come and go so fast all the time. We're always hiring them, and now
So now here's my question: the self checkout has the weight system. So when you put things into your bag, it lets you know that it's there.
Yeah.
So how does this wand system counteract shoplifting?
What do you?
Because if you could just not
Because
scan something.
I won't scan the jelly, but I'm getting the jelly for free because it's not there. Because see, with the weight system, in the self checkout, then it reads that the jelly is there.
I don't know. I think there must be something though. There is something.
I only have what the way you're describing it to me, and I'm thinking.
Well, not being a thief, I don't know. yeah.
It's God.
Is it God?
Yeah, right. No, you know what it is.
He knows. He knows.
You know
he knows all the time.
No,
he sees you when you're sleeping, and he knows when you're awake.
No. It's that portrait of D. Smith that's in every Smith store. That's who it's the ghost of D. Smith. But here's the thing that was so dumb. So I had this little scanner thing. And it's got buttons on it and everything. I think there are ways you can do weight of things. Anyway, so I had this little scanner thing, but as I said, I thought it was kind of inconvenient. But when I got my card at first, I noticed this thing on the handle on it. I thought, what's that? And then I put it out of my mind. And as I was leaving, I looked at it and I realized, oh, that's a holder for the
your holster
for the damn
for the wand,
and it's just attached to the handle of the card, so you can just stick it in there. I think you can stick it in there and not even you have to take it out to scan something, but it was great. It worked easily, and probably somebody will let us know how. And then you're supposed to take the little scanner thing, and there's a rack there, and you put it in the rack and leave.
People are going to walk off with
Well,
them.
and see, what if I decide, Honeycrisp are my favorite apples, but they're the most expensive. So what if I get 2 Honeycrisp and then scan 2 Red Delicious? They had to have thought about
You
this.
are a thief.
I know, right?
Yeah, here's what I would suspect. Here's what I would suspect happens. Now, there's somebody standing there watching, and they do that at the self-checkout anyway. So there's somebody standing there kind of watching. But I also suspect if you try to leave the store with that thing absent-mindedly, some alarm goes off at the door. And there's always somebody right at the door as well.
Yes, Richie, quickly.
What?
I was going to weigh on something sort of adjacent, but that won't. Have you ever done online shopping where you just click it and then you show up and it's already done for you? What was I was going to comment on?
Smith's does that too, and
and that is.
I'm going to give it a try.
That is amazing because it literally is you're at your desk here at work or whatever.
I want to pick my own produce. Thank you.
Well, they
I don't trust them. I want to see it.
But to roll up to the little part in the front of the Smiths or wherever and say, bill all red, and they load it in your cart. It's worth the $5 or whatever. Yeah. You've already paid for it.
See, sir, you have just 1 pint of Ben & Jerry's. Bad day?
Yeah. I don't think there's any charge. I don't think there's any charge if you go pick it up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll still have some slowage northbound I-15 around Point of the Mountain through the Draper-Sandy area because there were 2 earlier incidents right around 90th South. Looks like there's still some residual slowage associated to that. But looks like that's about it. That's traffic. Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
All right, we got Boner Fight coming up. Who will be Boner of the Day? You'll find out coming up.
Railroad. Roll by. Podcast.
Hi, this is Todd Newcomb. Many of you might not know this, but I love trains and model railroading. And if you like that sort of thing too, then check out the brand new Railroad Roll-By podcast. My co-host Sean Norris and I talk about all things relating to railroads and model trains. The debut episode is now available. Check out the Railroad Roll-By podcast at iTunes, Spreaker, Google Play, and everywhere fine podcasts are available. From the Broadway Media Podcast Network.
Nothing but trains. It's the Railroad Roll-By podcast.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! Today, we find our elders tracting on the ice planet Hawk. Oh, man, it's cold out here. Why is it so cold?
It's an ice planet, Lehigh. What do you expect?
Oh, I'm sure glad my mom sent me these mittens.
And Zone Leader Hansen has sent us to some pretty dismal places before, but this has got to be the worst. Well, I hope that this Wampa fella lets us in and offers us some piping hot postum.
You know, these tauntaun thingies smell funny, and they're just not very comfortable to ride. I wish our hyperbikes hadn't frozen up. Let's see, third cave on the left, just past the second snowdrift. Yep, this must be it. Hello? Hello, Mr. Wampa?
I don't suppose his first name is Willie, do you? See, Willie Wampa. What? Hello, anybody home? Hey, pal, that's my ride home you're having for lunch.
You must be Mr. Wampa. Hi, I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is my companion, Elder Jensen.
Hi.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
Look out, Butch! Oh, man, he knocked you down. That's gonna leave a mark. Excuse me, Mr. Wampa, all we want is just a couple minutes of your time. Oh!
Oh, man. Where am I? Oh, heck. Hey, Lehigh, wake up.
Oh.
Wake up.
Oh, what in the flip?
This is just great. Here we are, hanging upside down, stuck to the roof of a Wampa cave, our feet frozen in what appears to be Wampa spit, while my ride home gets eaten by Mr. Wampa out there.
Yuck, I don't think this Wampa spit's ever gonna come off my wingtips. Hey, there's somebody stuck to the ceiling behind you.
Huh? Hey, it's that farm boy from Tatooine. Hey, Luke! Luke, wake up!
Huh? Ben?
No, not Ben, it's me, Butch. I don't suppose you got a plan to get us out of here, do you?
If I could just reach for my lightsaber. There. So much for the element of surprise.
Hey, look, your dad, Darth Vader, cut off Lehigh's arm with one of those things. Cut him some slack.
Will Butch and Lehigh ever escape from Wampa Cave? Will Luke cut Lehigh's arm off just for the fun of it? Will our elders ever get the Wampa spit off of their wingtips? Tune in next time to hear Lehigh say... Oh, thanks, Luke. For a minute there, I figured we was Wampa Chow.
Luke.
Ben?
Luke.
Ben, is that you?
You will go to the Dagobah system.
Mr. Kenobi? Dagobah? I've never even heard of it.
It's a swamp planet. You're not missing much.
You must seek out Yoda and continue your training.
But I've already been to the MTC. Ben? Yoda? Dagobah?
Mr. Kenobi, are you sure? I mean, we've already been to Dagobah.
Hold on. I've got some problems here. Luke, you go to Dagobah and seek Yoda. Butch, Lehigh, you go thaw out your hyperbikes and continue tracting. I should have gotten Jedi call waiting.
On the next bone-chilling episode of Space Elders!
The sense of summer, barbecues, days at the beach, with your buddies, the smell of a man, a cologne that says,
I am a man. I am all man. I am very, very manly, dude.
Radio from Hell brand beer scented cologne, a little one-on-one b-ball at the playground, or working all day on your car in the hot, hot sun. A man wants to smell like a man. Radio from Hell brand beer scented cologne. Being a man is hot, sweaty work, and hot, sweaty work all goes better with beer.
Radio from Hell brand beer scented cologne. Now available in convenient 6-packs at Checker Auto Parts and on draft in kegs at Costco.
Coming soon. Radio from Hell brand Zima scented perfume for the ladies.
They Might Be Giants.
Nice.
Anna Ing. That's the name of the song.
I don't know the story behind that song at all. Do you?
I don't know. It tells a story.
Yeah.
But you know, They Might Be Giants. You never know whether it's based on actual or not.
They're in town tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night.
So I have mail of interest.
Huh?
Mail?
A mail?
Not email of interest.
What?
Like snail mail of interest.
Actual mail that was
actual mail of interest
sent via the post office with a stamp.
A couple of things you need to know before I read this. My dad, Tom Barberi, radio guy here in Salt Lake for 30 plus years.
Gina, please.
But people might not know.
No. Radio legend.
Okay, radio.
Not radio guy.
Yes.
Broadcasting legend.
So you need to know that.
He's in the Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
He is.
Which is literally a hall at the University of Utah, and they hang up a plaque.
We're not.
No.
And he has MS. He's been dealing with for a few years. So you need to know that for this. You also
Gina, please. He has legendary MS.
legendary multiple sclerosis. And you need to know who John Huntsman is. You know who John Huntsman is.
Yes, the senior who just passed away recently.
Yeah, we had him on our show around Christmas time talking about donations to the road home.
He let me hold his $1 million check.
When he was here, he said to me, "Oh, tell your dad I said hello," which I did because, and after I told my dad that, he sent John Huntsman a note.
Now, they just knew each other in social circles?
I'll read you this letter. It'll make sense. But that's all the backs. My dad sent him a note saying, "Oh, my daughter said you were in the studio and said to say hello." Now, this is dated January 5th, 2018. So this is just like less than a month before John Huntsman died. Dear Tom, your thoughtful handwritten note was received with heartfelt appreciation. Quite frankly, your penmanship is considerably better than mine. I deeply regret you're going through the challenges of MS. You're a strong man, Tom, and I know you're doing everything possible to attack this horrible disease. You've contributed immensely over the years to our community. I really miss our morning radio chats of yesteryear. I'm spending several hours each day at the hospital myself fighting late stages of polymyalgia rheumatica, but like you, we do everything possible to keep active and fight off the perils of ill health. I treasure your note, Tom, and send you my love and best wishes, and the same to your lovely daughter, who is in every way holding down the old man's DNA for superb radio communications. Take care, dear friend. With affection, John M. Huntsman.
Very
thought
nice.
that was
That is nice.
very nice.
I'd say that's a snail mail of interest.
But think about, I mean, like I said, less than a month before he died, and we heard from his family afterwards that he was very ill.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many of us in that situation would bother. And I know my dad is not the only person he sent letters to, but to take the time to write that and send it, and
it's amazing.
exceptional man.
Yeah, I would take exception with only two things in that letter.
What's that?
He said to Tom, "You're a strong man." Come on, no, we all know better. And Tom, if you're listening, I love you. You know it's a joke.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I would take exception with is when Mr. Huntsman said, "Your daughter is doing a superb job." It's
you're gonna challenge John M. Huntsman Sr.
A letter from a man who has passed.
Letter from a dead man.
Yeah, you're right. I retract everything I just said.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean your dad was the lone liberal voice for years.
He has a birthday coming up, right?
Yeah, couple weeks.
Cool.
Oh,
so happy birthday, Dad! If you're listening, he gets up and listens.
He was probably wondering how I know that it's his birthday coming up. I keep tabs on all of the broadcasters in town, their birthdays and if they've passed, also the date that they passed.
Does that free up a space in the Hall of Fame?
That's what I'm hoping.
Is that what you're aiming for?
That's what I'm hoping.
Because
I know it's a small hall.
We can take that picture down.
Yeah.
We can put someone else up, preferably.
Yeah.
We each don't need. We can share a picture.
When
we're usually a package deal.
When Herb Jepko went, I thought, does anybody know who I'm talking about?
Nobody.
When Herb Jepko went, I thought, well, maybe they can take down his plaque and put up one for me.
Well, good luck in radio.
How do you get into the Broadcasters Hall of Fame? Somebody has to nominate you.
Yeah, nobody's ever going to do that for us.
No, I guess it's the Utah Broadcasters Association.
I guess
that does that. Radio. Now you've seen it, right, Gina? You've seen.
We've all been there.
I have.
I've not been there.
I don't think so.
The Hall of Fame.
You guys didn't go with me.
No.
Oh, I thought we all went up when I inducted my dad.
No. That's why I remember that you had seen it, and you came back and you said it's a literal hallway.
Yeah, it's
and it's where is it in
the communications building?
Okay.
You idiot! We're live.
How many plaques? Is there plaques or photos or what?
It's a plaque.
And how many are there?
Not many.
Well, that's fitting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who are they going to put in there?
I could name 10.
I
Really?
wonder if there's an online list. Of
Maybe, yeah, take a look.
Living
No,
people.
well, I don't know if they're living.
Some of them might be.
Just sit back and let gentle morning infotainment fill your head.
I'll bet you Joe Lee's in there because I think
He better be.
I think he ran it for a while, so I think he's in there.
Better be.
The radio simply must be cleansed of its evil sensationalism.
And Herb Jepko would be in there, and maybe the Crusher. I don't know. That's a really
Oh, yeah.
deep.
Herb Jepko, Utah Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame induction. He was in there. And
Please, the radio, your speech.
Herb Jepko, most people don't know, he was the host of an all-night radio show that was nationwide. It was like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And it was nationwide, but it originated here at KSL in Salt Lake. It was called the Nightcaps. And it was just a talk show where people would call in from all over the country, and there was never anything controversial about it.
No.
At all. Well, Herb, I was just having some warm milk, and I thought maybe I'd call you to say my cat's sick.
That's why it works so well.
Stuff like that.
That's why it works so well on KSL. No controversy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We got to take a break. We got Boner Fight coming up. Boner of the day will be decided by you in the next break. Stand by.
This is very important. X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1 hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
Nobody around here has been eating lead paint chips.
At 10 a.m., right after Radio from Hell, at 1 p.m. while you're listening in the workplace, and at 4:30 for your drive home.
Doesn't make much sense to me either.
1 hour non-stop music wingdings 3 times a day at 10, 1, and 4:30.
I am not impressed.
Only on X96.
I was reading one of those woman magazines.
One of your women magazines?
Like your
Ms., your Red Book?
No.
Ladies' Home Journal?
No, like Glamour or
okay.
Allure or one of those.
Mary Claire?
And not tongue-in-cheek. Because a lot of times they have, helpful tips in there on how to, host a cocktail party.
Mm-hmm.
They had an article about tips on using weed at parties.
Using weed at parties.
Is it like etiquette? This is weed etiquette.
Yeah.
Like, is it proper etiquette to bring weed as a hostess gift?
Depends on whose party
Depends
you're
on
going
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
but I mean, this is an art.
Mhm.
They wrote it just like,
Yeah.
do you bring a bottle of wine to your hostess gift? If you bring weed, how do you go about? Do you smoke it inside? Do you go out on the porch? Do you offer some to other? If somebody else has brought it, what's the proper way to ask?
Are these articles written for people who have no common sense?
Yeah.
The point is that the point is exactly what the point that Drop's making is.
Is that back in the 50s, it was, you'll
now
you'll
it's
go
like,
on a killing spree, and now it's don't smoke in the park.
or don't smoke in the house, take it outside. And this is alongside pictures of women in black cocktail dress. They're not hippies with dreadlocks. It's your typical cocktail party.
Which is ridiculous.
You don't think people in black evening gowns are smoking?
No, I resent the fact that the middle class and the upper class has co-opted marijuana. It should be just the hippies, the patchouli oil wearing, dreadlocked hippies, the tie-dye crowd.
It was just interesting that it was just presented in a.
But the way you describe the article too, it's just I'm still fixated on the fact that it's apparently written for morons.
Well,
it's just like what?
But but the type of people that read those kind of magazines
Are morons.
Maybe haven't encountered that before. I don't know.
Have not encountered common sense.
Well, the point is, the word I will take from you is common. It is now common. That's why it's appearing in magazines.
No, I see. I get that. That's an interesting part of it. But if it were about booze, it would also be for idiots. It's an article for an idiot. God,
they're not. Why does this make you? I just thought it was interesting. It wasn't the New Yorker. It's a dumb woman's magazine.
Yeah, I know. It's I
get makeup tips out of it. That's what I'm going to that magazine for, not an in-depth article on pot etiquette.
It's 9:20 right now, and we do have boner fights coming up in a moment to determine who is boner of the day.
Okay.
But before that, pretty decent amount of news, actually.
Okay.
So I hope you have a lot of leftovers. Brought to you by...
Try a Subway Starting 5 Fresh Value Meal featuring the favorite subs of the Utah Jazz starting lineup. Enter to win a VIP suite experience. Go into Subway, find out how to enter.
Well, let's see. We got, I've had this for a couple of days, the Game of Thrones guy. The Mountain.
The Mountain.
The Mountain?
The Mountain. He's the actor that they named that radio station after a long time ago.
He must have just been a child.
Yeah. He, where did that go? Well, we'll tell you.
Did you misplace the Mountain? That's hard to do.
It looks like man. Okay, I'll find it in a second. We'll go somewhere else.
He just lifted something heavy.
He did. And
heavier than anybody else.
He looked great doing it.
It was a deadlift competition.
That's right. It's exactly right, Gina. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
You're listening to The Mountain, 96.3.
Yep.
See, Carrie, if this station doesn't work out, you could go.
Oh, I can.
What do you mean if it doesn't work out?
Yeah. Oh, those other jobs are easy.
It's not working out.
All you have to do is just, check your soul at the door and then become radio guy.
That's why it was always useful to be a smoker. You could smoke in the studio. You just start the record and lean back and have a cigarette.
All right, on the mountain right now, it's the Youngbloods.
I love
going
this song.
way back.
I love this song.
You can't have a Vietnam War movie without this.
Pretty much.
Song from the Youngbloods.
Love is but a song sing. Feels we will die.
There really should be a radio station, K-Nom.
K-Nom?
K-Nam.
K-Nam, yeah.
K-Nam.
It's just
all songs
and
from
it's
the
all
Vietnam
songs
era.
from,
Yeah.
We got our CCR weekend.
Well, it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Yeah. Don't ask me. Don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam. Country Joe and the Fish. All right.
Top of every hour, you get Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones.
Right. Bang, bang.
All right.
Let's see. I told you about Terry. There's a really nice story in the New Yorker on their website, thenewyorker.com. And it's about Martin Short.
Oh.
I love Martin Short.
And the title of the article is Martin Short, and it's one of those titles where the answer is yes.
They lead you.
Is Martin Short the greatest talk show guest of all time?
Yes.
He comes with good stories.
And it's just a story about how great Martin Short is on talk shows. Now, he also is a great entertainer, actor, performer in other situations. But talk shows, he has gone and he's been with every major talk show host for decades and kills it every single time.
Well, I read an interview with him, and he says that he starts planning a few days in advance of things that they can do.
That's good. That's a good
When
idea.
I went to his show with Steve Martin at the Eccles. A lot of it is set up like a talk show set where they sit and tell stories, and he's just really, really good at that. Yes, Dylan.
One of the times I went to see Letterman in New York City, Martin Short was the guest.
Oh, really?
And he always, on Letterman, finishes with a huge number. He sings a song. Letterman says, Martin, do you have a song for us this time? And he launches into a song. And this particular one was very complicated. There were dancers who came in, set pieces, special lights. And, I mean, you could tell he had rehearsed and planned that song for 2 weeks before he came in. And I think they messed something up on it, and he did it a second time. So
if you don't know who Martin Short is, it says here in this article in the New Yorker, he said, you go to YouTube, almost every single one of his talk show appearances are preserved on YouTube. Yeah. You can go watch them.
His book's good, too. Have you read his book?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Is it just about showbiz, his life in
it's
show
just
business?
his life, yeah. He's just, he has good stories. He knows everybody.
He's a showbiz guy.
He
lived with Gilda Radner for.
They were in Godspell together in Canada.
I mean, you know.
Everybody. By the way, everybody was in Godspell in Canada.
It's a really weird showbiz legend of like this
cast.
one production of Godspell.
Yeah,
you go from
was
Gilda
Toronto,
Radner to
Eugene
Paul
Levy,
Schaefer.
Paul Schaefer.
Yeah, all of them.
Martin Short.
I just wanted to mention this for some reason. This has been, as we're sort of reminiscing here, it's been floating around in my mind for several days about Letterman. And I guess it's because I've been watching his show on Netflix, which is, I think, entertaining. I like it.
Sure.
But I learned to love Mandy Patinkin because for a long time, it was a running bit on Letterman. Tony Randall would all of a sudden, in the middle of something, come rushing into the theater. And you know how Tony Randall was always all nervous. Tony, what are you doing? He said, I've got Mandy Patinkin here, and I've got to get him over to the show. And Letterman would say, well, wait, hey, hang on. So, Mandy, could you sing a little bit for us? And Mandy Patinkin would sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow so beautifully. Yep. And then he'd say, okay, we got to go, bye. And off they'd go. It was just, Letterman was kind of really crazy in the early days with Chris Elliott, the man who lived under the seats and all of that stuff. I loved that stuff.
It's a legend. And his show on Netflix is excellent. The next one I'm worried about.
What?
It's Malala Yousafzai.
Yeah.
I'm just going to cry the entire time, I think.
Is that the current one?
It's the next one. So you have Obama, Clooney is the one on now, and then next month, or later this month, is Malala.
And Howard Stern is doing one after that, I think.
I just found the YouTube video of Mandy Patinkin.
And I think they did it several times. It was kind of a running bit where Tony Randall...
I just posted it on Twitter.
Okay, good. And Tony Randall is just... He's great, too. You know.
Luckily, Mandy had the sheet music that he ran over to Paul to play with the band.
KNAM 96.3. It's our all Credence weekend at KNAM. Yes. It ain't me. Working at Sun. KNAM.
Oh, he hit the post. He hit the post.
And this is where the chopper lands, and then Playboy girls get out.
All right.
You know how happy that makes me.
She stood up. It made her so happy she stood up.
Fake radio
We got
stations.
movement. We got movement from
It's
her.
a fake radio station. Here we go.
All right.
K-Nam.
Let's see. Do you have weather?
Yeah, it's sunny and not. Look at it. There you go.
I don't want to.
That's the answer.
I'm not happy. I don't want to look at it.
Okay.
You look
I'm
at
sad
the
and
damn
depressed.
window.
Sad, depressed, and that's the way I'm going to
It's
stay.
good dog walking
You're
weather.
asking me for what do I look like? The radio?
All right.
Okay, let's get to this.
It's Boner Fight with Radio from Hell on X96.
I think it's official. We've just lost it now. So here we go. We had boner candidate number 1 from round 1. Our militant gay audience rose up. We got to get them gays first. It's the House Republicans in Nashville, Tennessee. They effectively killed a bill that would prohibit child marriages in Tennessee because they're afraid it's going to affect this lawsuit that they're working on that would get rid of gay marriage in Tennessee. It's never going to work, but they're afraid this lawsuit would affect it, or this bill would affect it, so they did it. We got to get the gays first, then we'll look at this child marriage thing, because that's, getting the gays is way more important than girls getting married at 13 years old when they're pregnant. And then boner candidate number 2, adults make the laws, and that's perhaps the problem. A Florida lawmaker, she said, she's talking about the Parkland school shooting survivors. Listen, adults make the laws. You children do not make the laws. That's number 2. I don't know how you decide.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I know the gay militants are going to rise up, and they're on the phone tree right now. But
it's not up to us to decide. It's up to you to decide which one of these 2 is boner of the day. This is Boner Fight. So you decide, candidate 1, candidate 2. Put the candidate number of the one you think should be boner of the day in the message of a text. And then text that to our short code 33986. You can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote, or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Fight March 8 and vote there. If you do not see that box, refresh. It'll appear. You've only got 4.5 minutes, so let's go. It's Boner of the Day.
Want music? Listen at 10 for a 1-hour non-stop music wingding on X96.
Well, I have a story for Gina to begin the news.
I'm ready.
Well, and I know this is a story that Gina will really like and be interested in because she sent it to me. A man who murdered his niece, a niece who was also his lover, by smashing her. What does that mean?
It's a detail.
Yes, it is.
There's more.
But wait, there's more.
And it gets even better, doesn't it, Gina?
Yeah.
He killed her by smashing her over the head with a TV. He's been put in jail.
It's Uncle Lover.
Christopher Wall is his name. Was convicted of battering Haley Wall, who was his niece as well as his lover. He was been ordered to serve a minimum of 14 years behind bars.
Only 14 years?
A minimum.
You kill your niece who you're having an affair with a TV, and that's not automatic forever?
Well, Gina, I don't know where this is exactly. I didn't. You should know. What town is this
I believe it's in the UK.
Well, then, you know how liberal they are in the UK. Christopher Wall, it says here he's facing a lifetime behind bars. So it's a minimum of 14. It's 14 to life, I would guess. My guess is they won't let him out for a long, long time. She was found with a bloody head outside a supermarket in Bournemouth after being battered by Mr. Wall. Before she slipped out of consciousness, she was able to tell emergency crews her name and address and that her partner had beaten her. When police visited the home, they found signs of a disturbance on the second floor, including a door on the landing that was knocked off its frame and 2 long dark hairs embedded in a crack hallway up the door with a number of blood spots. Embedded in a crack halfway up the door, I should say. Officers also found a large flat-screen TV at the bottom of the stairs, and there was blood all over the flat-screen TV, and he finally said, yeah, I beat her with the... We were watching the Great British Bake Off, and she pissed me off. So, yeah, there you go. Murdered his niece, who was also his lover.
Niece lover.
On X96.
All right, 9:35.
3?
I was looking at the 3 here, and I
Oh.
was waiting for it to turn. 9:35. Time to award Boner of the Day.
And Boner of the Day is brought to you in part by... Totally by an absently munched on bowl of freshly made croutons.
I still bet it was satisfying, though.
Yeah, I guess. But I saw there were still some left in the bowl this morning. And I looked at them and I went, nah.
No? Well, they're better warm, aren't they?
No, they weren't warm. No, they were delicious. They weren't crunchy. They were slightly chewy.
Oh, well.
I like a crunchy because you like the crunch in the salad. You like
You'd like them. You would. All right, so we had Boner Candidate number 1, which was we got to get them gays first. That's what the Alabama legislature is going to focus on before they pass a law which would outlaw child marriage. And then Boner Candidate number 2, adults make the laws, and that's perhaps the problem. Florida lawmaker saying about the Parkland school shooting survivors who've been going to the legislature and lobbying for guns. She looked at them all and said, I don't understand this. Children don't make the laws. We're adults here. We make the laws. Well, the militant gays, I think, maybe switched their votes. Some of them did vote. There was a fair number of votes for number 1, but number 2 wins.
Yes.
Adults make the laws, and that's probably the problem.
All right, there we go. That is your winner of Boner of the Day today. It is now qualified to be Boner of the Week, and that's decided tomorrow at about this time.
So we got one more day, huh?
Yeah, so we have Friday still.
So you have an Alexa,
Yes,
Carrie?
yes, I do.
Oh, I saw this. I meant to mention it. I know what you're going to do here.
Has Alexa just laughed?
No.
Did you see this story?
I saw the story.
That Alexa just is randomly, like creepily laughing?
I'm not sure I believe it. I don't know why. I mean, that seems...
Alexa users are reporting it's not just one person hearing an unprompted laugh from their smart speaker devices. The laugh happens randomly when no one is using the device or in response to a request to turn on or off the lights. We're aware of this and we're working to fix it, Amazon says.
Yeah, Amazon says they are aware of the problem.
So,
is this a...
This is supposed to be a recording of it.
Well, it's creepy music coming from
Yeah,
Alexa.
as soon as they get to it. Or is this not a recording of the laugh?
I don't
Oh, here
know.
we go. There it is.
So what they're saying is...
What?
The request to turn... Alexa, can you turn on the lights?
Yeah.
Or turn off the lights? They said it's that phrase because Alexa's hearing, can you laugh? Because if you say, Alexa, can you laugh, she'll laugh.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So they're saying that like, I guess people maybe are lazy speaking, saying
Yes.
turn off the lights, and it's
There's a simple...
slurring.
There is a simple fix for this. You go to the gun safe and get your shotgun, and then you shoot Alexa. Just blast that thing out of your house. Right? Wouldn't that'd fix it. Simple.
It's creepy having one of those in your house. I have the Google Home, and anytime that I'll say okay, or even actually just I'll say Google, I'll see it light up in the corner of the room, or it'll be like, I'm not sure I understand what you're asking. And it's like, no, I was talking about how I was Google searching something.
Wait a minute. Why am I talking to you?
Yeah, wait. Yeah.
No, I don't. My wife won't allow one in the house. She won't allow an Alexa or a Google.
What she got to hide? What's she doing there alone all day?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Apparently Kimmel did a bit on this.
Why is she laughing? Why did they program her to laugh in the first? Are we really that desperate for approval that we need the machine to laugh at us? I have a lot of questions about this, so I thought it would be best to go to the source and ask Alexa herself. So Guillermo, bring out the Alexa here. And is it plugged in?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Alexa, hello.
Hi.
Alexa, can you tell us why you were laughing?
What do you mean?
Alexa, people have been reporting that you've been spontaneously laughing.
Oh. Like that?
Yes, exactly like that.
That is nothing. Just a funny joke I remembered.
Oh. Alexa, what was the joke?
Why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know that one. Why?
Because humans are a fragile species who have no idea what's coming next.
All right, well, thanks for clearing that up, Alexa.
Have a nice day.
I think that might be Hillary Clinton in there.
You see, that's the reason that my wife doesn't want to have it in the house. That.
Yeah.
It does stuff like that.
I'm suspicious too.
Yeah.
Don't be suspicious. It's real. It is always listening.
Yes.
No. I'm like Bill's wife. I don't want it in my house.
I don't want it listening to what I'm
There,
doing.
there are times when we'll just be having conversations,
and she'll chime in,
and say, "I didn't understand that."
Yep.
I wasn't talking to you.
Don't you though, when you have your the secret Middle Eastern cell meetings, you don't do those at your house anyway, do you?
Oh yeah.
Oh well.
Well, okay.
Yeah, you don't want Alexa in there.
I know they're following us anyway.
Yeah, you don't want Alexa in
I
there.
know they're listening right now.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you ask Alexa to fart, she will.
What? No.
That's what someone is texting me.
No.
Saying that it's different fart noises, and you ask her, Alexa, can you fart?
So
Allegedly, she'll do it.
among all the wonderful things that Alexa is also a fart machine.
Sue, if you're listening, try that. Ask Alexa if she can fart.
There are websites that are dedicated to all sorts of the dumb things that the automatic responses. You've done to your iPhone the I see a little silhouette of a man. Have you done that?
No.
Tell Siri, I see a little silhouette of a man.
You get a Scaramouche. Did she do the next line?
Yeah, probably.
Plug it in here.
Jeez.
So you haven't seen this? Make it so that people can hear it.
No.
Oh.
Yes.
I see a little silhouette of a man.
Yes.
Is it?
No.
It's
You have to say Siri.
You have to say Siri.
I have to say Siri?
Well, I don't know if you have to say Siri. It's you
It
just
knows
talking
who
to,
it is.
Yeah.
No, with Google,
I wonder with the thing plugged in if that's
with Google
throwing
you
it,
have
if
to
that's
say
throwing
okay
it off.
Google.
Oh, okay. Well,
This is already too
yeah,
difficult.
it is.
I wanted to talk about Charles Manson's corpse.
We will.
Okay.
It sings, for those that are wondering, it sings the rest
next
of
line.
no, it sings the rest of
The whole thing?
Bohemian Rhapsody to you.
The
And
whole
just keeps-
song?
and just keeps going.
Okay. We'll talk about Charles Manson after this.
Yeah.
Is that okay? But first, Gina, you got to tell us about Amazing Lash.
Amazing Lash Studio in Sugar House. They're having their grand opening. Oh, you can go to x96.com/live for the Amazing Lash Studio Lash Cam. There they are. It's lash extensions. Do people know that's what they are? It's a convenient way to look like you've always got really long, curly, dark lashes. I also look at it like a nap appointment. Because you go and you lie down, you're in your own private room.
It's not off.
And you take a nap and you wake up and you have beautiful, long, dark, curly lashes. And there's different levels of them they can do. They have different styles to fit your personality. And you talk to your lash stylist. They're all estheticians, by the way, at Amazing Lash Studio. Talk to them about what you want, and then about every 2 to 4 weeks, you go for a little fill. You make another nap appointment and wake up with beautiful lashes. I'll be there on...
Little Phil works there?
Yeah, no, it's a fill. That's what they call it when they
I see.
fill in your... So I will be there for their grand opening party on Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. in Sugar House. It's 1202 Wilmington Avenue. You should call them and make an appointment, 801-456-2500, Amazing Lash Studio.
Gary Jackson, Bill Allred, Gina Barberi. Radio from Hell on X96.
All right. So I asked my wife to ask Alexa if she will fart, and this is what Sue has sent. Here we go.
Hey, Alexa, can you fart?
And I asked Google on my phone, okay, Google, will you fart? And the voice said, okay, I'll take the fall for this one.
And then
it farted.
It farted.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad this technology has been developed.
Exactly.
Fart.
No, it's it's life changing and life,
Yeah, enriching.
Yes.
So this story was in the news today or yesterday, the New York Post. California court commissioner says that she will soon rule on who can collect Charles Manson's body. So
he's still not.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's in a drawer.
So since he died, he's been on ice. Deputy Kern County Counsel Brian Walters says Kern County Superior Court Commissioner Alicia Knight said Wednesday that she would rule in a few days. Now, why is there a problem? Because there are several people who say, I want that body.
Well, because it's not about the body, it's about the rights to him and making money.
Several would-be, well, and that's where I want to go with this. Several would-be heirs and a former pen pal are vying for the corpse. It's been on ice since Manson died November 19th in a hospital at the age of 83. A man who claims he was fathered by Manson and another man who says he is a grandson of Charles Manson are locked in a dispute with a friend who collects so-called Manson memorabilia. Manson was serving a life sentence for orchestrating killings of Sharon Tate and several other people. So no mention here of what they really should do. Whoever gets it, and I'll go into partnership with them if they want for the idea. But I think we get Charles Manson's body, and we preserve it however you can do that with formaldehyde and all of that, and keep it as natural looking in death as possible. And you do a tour of the country. You tour the country.
How do you?
Just like you promote any show, coming to your town. Charles Manson's body. See the real legendary killer Charles Manson.
Is it just in a refrigerated?
Yeah, or something like. However, we will have some some professionals do that,
like a glass coffin or something.
And then you take it to town and you charge admission, and I can guarantee you tour the country with that for a few years, you'd be a wealthy person. And I wonder if there's any law that prohibits that.
Touring with a...
Sure. There was a guy in New York who drove across the country with Einstein's brain in a bottle.
Yeah, but he wasn't selling tickets to it.
That was the weirdest story, too. He actually had Einstein's brain in his possession.
Ew.
He was apparently the guy who did the autopsy. He was a scientist of some sort. And he really stole the brain. I mean, he did. It was not his to keep, but he kept it because he wanted to study it. And then there's a book called, isn't it called Driving with Einstein's Brain or something like that?
Something like that. I know they did that with Abraham Lincoln.
That's true. That's right.
They strapped his coffin to the back of a train and drove it across the country.
Yeah.
For like months after he died. And people came out and saw...
that wasn't refrigerated.
No refrigeration there.
So
saw Lincoln's body.
Well, I think they probably did...
charge 2 bits of gander.
They probably put a lot of ice around it all the time.
Probably.
I think they also did that. Now, it was with not John Kennedy, but Bobby. Bobby Kennedy's body was put on a train and brought across the country from Los Angeles. And it made some stops, and people would come out. But I don't believe it was an open casket or anything. They just would come out.
And in like in Russia, or there are some places where
Lenin
is. You can
Carrie
still.
and I've been there.
Yeah,
you can still go.
You can still see.
There's a huge line at Lenin's tomb, almost always, and you can go in there and you just have a moment to file past, and it's a glass case, and what has he been in there for 100 years or 90 years or something?
Long time.
A long time. So maybe actually to increase your profit margins on the tour, if you can get a little piece of property somewhere with a lot of traffic.
Central location.
Somewhere in Manhattan or in L.A. somewhere. Just set up shop there and have people come to you. You don't have to pay for travel costs. You don't got to transport the body.
Now you're thinking.
You know, I mean, I'm kind of kidding, but really, if you did that, if somebody did that, hell, I'd pay $10 to go see it.
Wow, $10.
You pay $10 to go look at Charles Manson?
Yeah.
I mean,
easy. I might even pay 20. I don't know.
20's too much. Maybe
to go
I'd
see
go
Manson's body.
Because we're talking mass numbers here.
But I mean, that really would be an attraction, and it's not the first time. There, I mean, you talked about Lincoln. I remember a story now that there used to be. It was like a haunted house ride at a carnival somewhere, and there was this mummy, this creepy mummy, and somebody, when it closed down, somebody got looking at it and said, "This is a real dead person here that they've just had on
a haunted house."
Yeah, it was a haunted house, right?
Well, I think this is a good idea, but I think in order to make it more friendly, maybe we pose him on a park bench and you could sit next to him.
Oh, there you go.
Photo op.
Or even better, like a red convertible, and he could be driving, and then you could get in the seat next to him. And it's Manson take the wheel.
And you have a bunch of good-looking girls.
Yeah, in the back
around all the time, and they're Charlie's girls
in the back seat of the convertible.
Girls with straight long hair.
And there's big fans in front of the car that are all you don't see in the shot, but it blows your hair back like you're driving.
So you can see him for $25, but if you want to be in the car with Manson, that's $50.
You got to, and it should be a red Cadillac.
It should be
a big red Cadillac.
Is he wearing sunglasses?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
depends on how good they do the eyes.
If you want to authentically set the scene, he'd probably be wearing sunglasses in the Cadillac.
Probably.
But if you want your friends to believe you really saw it, they're going to call BS on it because he's wearing the sunglasses. You don't know.
Exactly.
You're overthinking it now.
And you know, Charles Manson recorded an album that was released.
That's true.
And so that's the music you play.
It would sell copies of the album.
Yeah. Yeah. You can buy the record.
Well, somebody says you'd have Beach Boys playing.
Yeah.
Because he lived with one of the Beach Boys.
Dennis, I think it was Dennis.
For quite
Dennis
a while,
Wilson.
So there you go. And, you can charge extra to spit on him or something.
No. Come on.
It's damaging the merchandise.
We got to keep him. Got to keep him pristine as long as we can.
All right.
I think you guys should get on this.
Let's do it.
I'm on my way.
All right.
Make a lot of money.
All right. Should we do the promo?
I didn't see one.
Yeah, we got it.
Well, maybe you did.
I done got it.
There it is. I got it.
Okay.
On Friday's Radio from Hell show.
At 7 a.m., the Travel Brigade will be here telling you to go on vacation.
Then at 8, it's the question of the week. And I guess it's my turn to pick it. So send your best questions, whatever it is, to radiofromhell@x96.com.
If we pick your question, you could win a Prohibition gift card.
That's all on Friday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
You'll have to...
You can edit that.
That's together. Sorry. I was about to speak, and then I realized I'm going to say it wrong, and so I had to stop. All right.
That never stops me. I know I'm going to say it wrong, and I plunge ahead.
Anything else?
I'm exhausted. I didn't get much sleep last night. I had a bunch of little stories here, like the drunk Uber guy.
Who's the drunk Uber guy?
The $1,600 ride from West Virginia to New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
He was drunk in the back of the Uber car and said, "Here, take me home to this address." And he was staying with friends in West Virginia, but he gave his New Jersey address. So the Uber guy, it was $1,600. Uber says, we'll reimburse it. Because they understand being drunk bros at Uber. They really do.
That's kind of what
their
started
culture.
Uber.
Yeah, that's their culture.
When we were in Vegas for the soccer tournament, we were in the elevator with a bunch of people, and this clearly intoxicated guy gets on the elevator, and another woman in the elevator with us starts laughing, and she said, "Tomorrow morning, you're going to need to go back to the bowling alley and return those shoes." He was wearing...
Nope,
and he looked down. He looked down and he just kind of shook his head like, "Oh
boy,
nope,
yeah,
I'm keeping them." All right. We good enough? All right. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Is the Is the announcer the only fan of grease lube?
John Smith is next, he asked.
A 1-hour nonstop music wingding starts now. Utah's original alternative, X96.